When we last left our heroes, Link was late for school, right? I am not mistaken.
Yep.
Link was late for school, and Adam was having a very bad first period.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna pull up some stuff here while I'm thinking. Um,
Excuse me, I know the feeling.
I'd say I'm just gonna structure Adam's like entire classroom structure on the one that I've already memorized for my daughter. So first period was language arts, what we would call English, and you find yourself in the assistant principal's office with a note that says, well,
Disrupting class.
disrupting class with a quote. And the assistant principal is frowning at not frowning at you, but frowning at this note and looking kind of like not angry, but like troubled, like putting a lot more uh thought into this and really kind of really pondering this like it's this.
It's this puzzle.
Yeah, like it's a puzzle, but like it's a very worrisome puzzle. Like he's really troubled by it. One second. Can you guys hear me okay? Kelly is
Yeah.
saying I'm
Yeah.
breaking. Okay. Kelly's saying I'm breaking up, but if you guys are hearing me fine, then that's fine. Okay, so uh, Adam,
So,
I I I want you to help me out with this. You're in AP English, a class that you have very good scores in so far this semester, with a teacher who thinks the world of you. Miss Elliott? We'll say Miss Elliott. Or wait, not Miss Elliott. Kelly, help me out here. What's the language arts teacher's name?
Miss Healy.
Miss Healy. All right. Thinks the world of you. And this, he kind of makes a circular, pointing, all encompassing, swirling motion over the note. Troubles me and confuses me, to be honest. I'm not angry, but I feel like I need more information. What's going on?
um, okay. So, what's this principal's name?
Dawes, Mr. Dawes,
Mr. Dawes.
assistant principal Dawes.
Assistant principal.
Technically, Dr. Dawes, he has a PhD because Halcyon attracts people like that to assistant principals' jobs in middle schools.
For some reason, I feel like this poor man has the nickname of some of the uh, uh, not so nice students as Dr. Dog.
Could be.
Yes.
He's played by the scientist that first invented the Terminator Skynet software. The guy who gets
Oh, and
shot in his own house. I can't remember his name.
Dyson.
Dyson. Yeah, that guy. Very clean shaven. You know, uh, very expressive mouth. Um, and takes himself. The guy is almost never not in a three-piece suit. Not because he's a priss or anything like that, but he just takes the job very seriously. He's always been very nice to you. Um, So help me out here.
Ooh, okay. So Adam is going to just like he's going to have that like worried look on his face, and then I'm sure that Dr. Dawes like gives him just like one of those discerning looks at him, and that's when Adam just sort of like breaks down and he's like, "Well, I'm under a whole bunch of pressure right now, and I'm socially awkward under the best of conditions, and that's exactly what the counselor keeps on saying because I have I have a home life that pressures me to succeed under difficult circumstances. And so whenever things start
I feel like you're air quoting your counselor right there. Like you're basically just verbatim.
that probably happens right there. And he's just so Adam
He's
is just like
nodding. He's nodding seriously, but he's nodding seriously like he wants to convey that he's taking you seriously, but he's not completely drawn in by this, but keep going.
yes, and so Adam just like keeps talking for a second, and then I am I imagine as he just keeps talking, eventually Adam just like wheels himself into like a certain point where he's just like, and really, and that's when like in the back of his mind, this is where the sentence would be like, and I really needed to help out Jason. I really needed to help out Jason Quill this morning, except for the concordance in the back of his brain just like locks his mouth shut for that second in order to stop that. Because he did promise his mom that he wouldn't tell anyone at school that he was a super.
Right. Very, very important stuff. Um, well, Adam, I mean, I know that you have a lot. I mean, you came to us as a very special case, uh, and we took you on, and this challenge of having you participate here in the school with, I'll be honest, a little bit of trepidation. We're not. So we're. Is this is Halcyon High, and
Yes.
so the school that like Jason and Mercury go to is like some kind of prep school. It's like a private school, right? I don't know that we've ever specifically said what the name of that is. Um, but oh, was it
You
Was
did,
it
but it's buried
It
somewhere.
was like Kirby Prep or something like that. It's not Kirby, but you guys came. I said not Kirby Prep because there's another product I want to be named after Jack Kirby, and so Dave came up with something equally obscure that I can't remember right now. But anyway, they're a bit better geared for the sort of advanced learning situation that you find yourself in. But we were excited to take on the challenge. Do you still feel like this is the right place for you? Because I really hope that it is.
And Adam was just gonna be just like break in right immediately. He's like, yes, of course. And all of a sudden he's gonna get like really self conscious and sort of look down. And he's like, you guys have a better drama department than they do.
Well, and he smiles a little bit. That I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate your interest in the program. I know that our drama instructors are very excited to have you participate. They've said as much uh, going forward. So I tell you what, I'm going to put this down to a little bit of early morning pressure. Either you had a little bit too much coffee or not enough. Whichever it was, try the other thing, if that's all right, if I can give you that bit of advice. And I don't think we need to involve anyone else in this. I think a carefully and well worded note, thoroughly spell checked and grammar checked, of course, to your language arts teacher, Miss Healy, would be much appreciated. I think you can probably take care of that over your lunch hour, don't you?
Yep.
All right, all right. So we're wrapping up, and I think you can probably, I'll make sure that you have any other assignments that she might want to get to you. And I think you have your next class coming up here in about, and the little beep thing sounds out in the hallway. There it is. And I hope that we don't need to talk again. How does that sound, Adam?
And he's like, no, sir, no, sir, Dr. Dawes. I'll make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Unless, of course, you want to talk again, which you should always feel free to. But I don't think that we need to have a situation like this where we're forced to. Let's choose our words carefully, and
No, sir.
and make sure that we're making our best choices for ourselves. That's great, Adam. Thanks very much. And I'm just gonna. Do you think we need to loop your folks in on this conversation, or are we all right?
And Adam's gonna be like, no, no.
All right. Well, I don't need to keep secrets, but I don't think this is serious enough. I think this is just a little chat in the hallway. Does that sound all right?
Okay.
All right then. So, your next class is you get out, you get to the locker, and you get out and get to the locker, and your next class is I'm going to say phys ed because that seems like the worst possible thing for Adam for some reason.
I'm just saying, right now you're going in perfect order of my schedule.
I have no idea why that would be.
It was wholly not intentional.
Oh yeah.
Not in the slightest. Air quotes.
Not at all. Not at all. So.
Joyce, next you're gonna have Kaylee play one of the teachers.
No, no, I don't.
Please.
Nobody needs that much bitterness. I don't think so.
I can do my gym teacher.
No, that's okay. I'm fine. I'm good, thanks. All right. So you were simply told last week that you didn't need to bring in your gym, that you didn't need to actually change clothes for gym this week. You go into the and you're not sure what that's about. You're afraid it might mean dodgeball, but usually you still have to change for something like that. So you're not exactly sure what's going on here. Until you get into the gym and you realize there's a bunch of chairs and tables set up, and the gym instructor.
I have a picture for you.
You do? I'm terrified.
I'm excited.
Let me look. What do we got here? Oh yeah, there's the guy. There's our. We're gonna have to capture all this stuff.
Oh God.
That's the principal, and Principal Celestia, lovely. Gym teacher. Okay, I'm working my way down here through all the links that have been posted. No.
That was perfect.
Oh yeah, you forgot about Kayla. I don't think you've watched enough or read enough of the JLA, but it's like all the Justice League kids are 8 years old.
No, I read all the way up to 100 of them.
I like Boomer. Boomer's good too. Sidekick. Gym teacher's name is Mr. Vigil. He looks shush. He looks like he is. He does not look happy. Actually, I don't mind if he's played by Bruce, the Mighty Chin, although he does not have superpowers. He does not look happy about this. You are all have tables and chairs set up. You are seated in alphabetical order, which puts you right at the one of the front tables. And I need to know you're Amari. There's one other person ahead of you, and then you, and then somebody else, and they're both girls. So who are they?
So we're gonna say like Tina Adams,
Okay.
and then probably like an Ashley like an Ashley Baker.
Ashley Baker. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only two ways.
Only two ways. he walks out and he stands there in his gym shorts and his jacket and his cap next to this television, kind of like Spider-Man: Homecoming with the TV right up there. And he's frowning at everybody, glowering until silence. Right, he says. All right, we've got 5 more days of this. Let's get started so we can get it over with. And he hits play, and the TV comes on, and you hear this 1960s era television announcer say, "Sexually transmitted diseases," with like zooming text graphics.
The only thing that could make this better is if it was Jason's dad doing the video.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That has
At
to be
least-
what's
and-
happening.
At least it's not Captain America.
No, that has to be what's happening. It's Brian Quill,
Byron Quill and Rusty.
a much younger, no, just Byron Quill. It's Byron Quill. He, no, it gets better because it's actually Byron Quill, a younger Byron Quill, but they keep having like sort of poorly framed. He's having back and forth Socratic conversations with the cartoon version of himself from the TV show. Because when they talk about the various communicable diseases, they can switch over to the animated one who's like fighting them with a laser pistol.
I found, I think, what is the most on point facial expression for that character. So
I have to look now. Oh my god. It's perfect. It's awesome. So yeah, it's the younger Byron Quill when he had a full head of hair. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. I will. Oh, it's so good. All right. So we're gonna cut to Link, who is also, at least in some sense of the word, coming in, having a quick conversation with a Vice Principal Dawes, because it's mandatory when you come in too tardy, that you need to just have a quick word. So you go in and sign. What's the reason you give for the tardiness? Out of curiosity.
a friend of mine was needed urgent medical care. We called the EMTs. I just was there on the scene to see if he needed any help. I mean, which is true that we called the EMTs. So, right.
And you realize as you're finishing this up, explaining to the desk person who's like, Dawes walks up, as you're finishing this, he goes, "All right, Mr. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot what Leo's last name is, like officially."
Snow.
What was it?
Leo Snow is not his birth name, so this is what people would call him.
Okay. You know nothing, Leo Snow. I have to say at least once. All right, Mr. Snow, can you step back here? We'll just get caught up real quick and get you back to class.
Yes, sir.
He sits in here and he just looks at you like. So EMT is very responsible of you. You didn't. So were you got the call from them this morning, or were they?
No, I received a text from my friend and went over to his house. People there who I guess are his staff let me know that he was unconscious. I think emergency services either had been called or did get called during that.
Not a student
So-
here, then I take it.
No, not at the school.
A peer?
I guess.
Well, you must be some sort of friends if you were willing to rush over there at a moment's notice early in the morning.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true, isn't it?
Well, it's very responsible of you, Mr. Snow. Is he going to be all right? Did he have to go in for any special treatment or anything?
I haven't heard back yet. After the EMTs arrived, I realized I needed to get back to school, and so I headed over here promptly.
We appreciate that. Again, very responsible. It can be difficult if you have someone who's going through a rough patch, uh, family difficulties, addictions. He says, looking kind of down at his hands, not really making eye contact, anything of that nature. It's hard not to have that affect you in trying to get them out. You need to be careful if you're trying to pull someone out of quicksand that you don't end up getting pulled in yourself. Appreciate your honesty about all of this. Do we need to? I'm assuming your ward is not your ward. Who would it be? Your guardian? Well, how would he think of whoever it is that's officially on the paperwork for seeing to you?
That's a good question. Leo doesn't really have like a legal guardian in that sense.
Is he an emancipated minor then, or is
Yeah, yeah, he
officially?
is. So
You're
so basically, like they would be his emergency contact, I guess, or not really next of kin, but like next responsible contact, I guess you could say, or something like that.
you're very bright young fellow, and I am not someone who ascribes to the idea that someone can be, as my good friends back in high school themselves used to say, book smart and world dumb. So I attribute you a great deal of wisdom in this as well. Just remind yourself that if this individual is in trouble, they may actually also be trouble. Just for your own, just watch out for yourself as well, sir.
I appreciate that advice. I will definitely be careful.
All right. Well, you will, of course, need to make up that time. I would appreciate it if during your study hall or during lunch you were able to contact your first period instructor and catch that up. I know you would probably appreciate getting caught up as well. So
I'll see right to it.
that's about all we need to do. I'm assuming that since they're at the hospital, you won't need to have any more emergency calls in the near future.
It seems that the appropriate people are taking a look at it, so all I have to do is wait and hear back.
It's good that I will say this as this is your, he sort of nods and lets you go, and as you're going, is I will say this: I appreciate that you're willing to acknowledge when there are experts on site who can do more. There are far older people who think that since they know the person better, they know the situation better. That's not always the case, and I respect your insight into that.
Life has taught me to respect my limitations, sir.
Would that we could all learn that, Mr. Snow. All right, I believe I made you late for second period. You should probably hurry, but don't run. Um, hmm. I could probably do something with sort of influence, like using his influence to move your labels, but I'm not sure if it's that big of a power move. He's not really pushing on you that hard. Um,
Like I've heard all this music before,
right,
basically.
yeah. And he's not really pushing too hard. He's just sort of checking in to make sure. There was a bit in there where he was definitely making some assumptions about what the situation was. Um, and if you're inclined to read the mask on him, you certainly could to kind of see where what he thinks is going on with you.
I, as a player, picked up on that pretty fast. I think Leo probably just doesn't care, though.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, yeah. He pretty much he kind of just thinks like you somehow know some rich kid who OD'd or something and called you while he was tripping balls, and you ran over to help him, but had the sense to call the EMTs without getting out the adrenaline needle and having a Pulp Fiction moment.
Oh yeah, I went over to the house of my plug and called the ambulance. No,
Well, no, but I just mean the adrenaline needle thing. Like, no, I called the
I
EMT
know.
rather than seeing to him myself. Although not necessarily the case, but still. All right. So Otto's in the habit of randomly, because he's sitting out in the parking lot, of randomly sending you texts uh, during the day. He's got classes where, I mean, he knows you're not going to necessarily look.
He's also feel free to like drive around the city when he knows I'm going to be busy for a while. So
Yeah, he
he's
can
either there or remote. But yeah,
tint the windows, and it looks like you're being dropped off, and then the car leaves, pulls out. Um, yeah, actually, he probably went back to the salvage yard for a while to hang out, play some video games. Um, you'll occasionally get the text. He'll throw a little bit of shade your way, kind of, in that he's like, so what class is it now? And you know perfectly well he knows what class it is. It's like, such and such algebra. He goes, oh, that sounds really hard. You should probably at some point in time, I need to remember to load in the program to uh, allow me to immediately and instantaneously master that without any homework or assignments whatsoever. You know, at some point, it must be a lot harder doing it your way. I'm sure glad I don't need to do that. That sounds like it would really suck. That kind of stuff. Isn't it nice to have a positronic brain?
You're a robot. Literally, all you do is math.
So the funny thing about that, Joyce, by the way, is that his robots actually do have brains. They're not just computer programs running on like conventional hardware, which means he's sort of trolling because that's not really a thing that he could easily do, but he can make fun of me anyway. And Leo will just be like, damn it, just shut up.
Honestly, yeah, technically they're robots that all they do is math. At the same time, Otto's not a big math guy. It's not his strong suit. Well, that isn't exactly true. He says he's not a math guy, but then he'll plot like incredibly complex stuff when he's got to be, when he's got to make certain kinds of shots and stuff like that. So, not shots, but like throw stuff, jumps, things like that. He's really good at like geometry, applied mathematics. Definitely his.
He's really good at messing with me. Is what he's good at.
There's also that. He'll send memes. He sends like a really, really, really funny webcomic, and you'll notice that it's like, oh yeah, and it's all that good. And you look up and realize that it's like webcomic like 1748, like number 1748 in a webcomic that's been running since like 2008. And the one that they sent you, the one that he sent you is like from 2014. So you're now like, oh, that's really, really good, and there's literally 3,000 of them, and they're not like strip comics. It's like full Sunday comic style, like panels for every one of them. You're like, ah.
Yeah, some of us have to go to school here. We're a little busy during the day.
Don't you like human things have lunch hour?
You have to catch up for being late because of frickin' Jason Quill.
Huh. Friends are hard. You should have.
You're proving that right now.
Hang on a second. I'm going to do an imitation. I want to see if you get it. I want to see. Wait for it. Are you ready? You ready? He sends you a text, and it's an eggplant emoji. Who am I? Huh? I know it's subtle.
God damn it.
I am really fast, he says.
When I get home, I'm going to get a wrench. I'm going to take that car apart. I'm going to find out where this is.
Where this is? Where what is?
Whatever major malfunction is causing you to do this.
So what is not probably second period, but what's third period for you?
Oh man, that takes me back. Like I'm really old, you guys. I don't know if you figured that out yet, but I haven't been to high school in years.
Drama.
Leo's not doing drama.
I have drama. I don't attend drama.
You've got your third period is science.
Oh, good. Thank you, Lord. That's what I need.
Okay. Adam, your third period is an elective. It's two electives in a row. PE is mandatory, and drama is a semester long. It's PE is going to be replaced by drama in the second semester, which you are very, very excited about. Um, Everything else that you're doing is like, so. What's the other extracurricular that you're in?
Um.
Is it like a foreign language or something? Because you do
Yeah.
theoretically need to
Yes.
do that. What's your foreign language?
We are gonna go with Spanish
Okay.
since I'm horrible at Spanish. So I figure that will uh, it'll play well into my not being able to understand anything that's going on, both for the character and myself.
All right. And Leo's in science. Um, so your normal, who is your normal like lab? There's like four science classes. I showed. There's like four science labs. So there's like a bio lab and a chemistry lab and a physics lab and then a general lab. And in all of them, you basically have like a two-seat bench for experiments, except for the general lab is just basically a classroom. And in all of them, you've been, I'm going to say, saddled with a partner, and it's the same one at every one of your, in every, regardless of what lab you're in, you've been saddled with the same person. Who is that? And I say saddled advisedly because that's how you think of it.
Oh boy, I could go a couple different directions on this one.
I know.
Okay.
You don't have to spend a ton of time on it because they're going to be mysteriously replaced in this particular session. But I do want to know who it is. And why are they so happy to be at your table?
Why the normal partner is?
Yeah, the normal partner. Why is the normal partner so happy to be at your table?
All right, so I got Miss Rodriguez, whose
Okay.
image has been linked in the Roll20.
Okay, let me look at that. Roll20. Ms. Rodriguez.
She's excited to do science with me because
She loves
I happen to know
science.
science and care about it. And she's like, "Hey, can we try it?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. We'll just do it." And we get in trouble and things explode, and that's fine. Leo tends to take the rap for it because, of course, like he's just gonna.
And you've been well coached to be polite, and you can keep up with what she's talking about. Both of these things are very exciting to her.
But she's a nutcase. Oh my word! Get me out of here.
Physics is okay. Biology lab is okay. Chemistry lab with her is terrifying. It's just you're literally just strapped to the side of a hurricane in chemistry lab. There's
Like
never been
she's one of those people who would become like either a really crazy superhero or a really like harmless and ineffective but hilarious supervillain if she got pushed. As it is, she's just going to be one of those like background scientist characters at Star Labs.
nice. I like that. You sit down and you
Something
you,
explodes.
you hear somebody sit down next to you, and you I got it. Uh, where are we at here? Yeah. Okay. We'll have to use this one. View image. So you look over and it's not her, and you kind of look around. Like you look at that person, you look around the room, and you see the other. You see your other partner. What was her name? What name did you decide she had?
She just gets yelled at a lot, so it's always Miss Rodriguez. Put that down,
Rodriguez.
and that's how Leo knows her.
Miss Rodriguez. Miss Rodriguez is sitting at like sort of one of the back tables, and she's been paired up with like a this quarter, just this quarter, the classroom has a teaching assistant who's coming in to get her credits, and she's been paired up with them on an odd thing.
Look, Leo's looking at this like, you poor dumb bastard. You have no idea.
Yeah, you don't even know what you're getting into. She's shaking his hand like really, really enthusiastically, and then kind of sees you and waves a little bit, and then goes back to talking just a mile a minute with the thing. Sitting next to you, kind of looks at you like, "What's up?" Is this person
With that face.
with that face? I'm Taz, she says.
Hi, I'm Leo. Hey, straight up, do you actually want to be here, or do you just not?
No, I actually want to be here a whole bunch. What? No, I'm totally into this. Science is like my jam, mostly.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because like, some people aren't cool with it.
Miss, the teacher comes over and says, oh, Miss Calix is a transfer. We haven't quite placed her in the various things, but she tests her initial placement test put her in here, and we thought someone who was doing so well in the class could spend a little bit of time getting her up to speed without going so fast that they might leave somebody behind. He kind of, his eyes kind of do a side shot over towards Miss Rodriguez. If you don't mind, Mr. Snow, a little bit of guided tour, if you would, during class, just for a while until we sort things out.
Yeah, no problem.
Great. And he goes into the spiel. She resolutely basically ignores the class, like ignores the entire lecture. She's on her phone. She's texting a mile a minute. Just message after message after message. You don't even know if there's any incoming things. It's all quiet. And she's doing it like she's not looking at her phone. The phone's kind of below desk level. And she's looking forward, but she is just, her eyes are like shooting down every so often, but she is just, she's a machine with that thing. And this is just during the lecture. Once the lecture wraps up, she sort of finishes the last thing, blows her hair kind of out of her face, drops her phone into her jacket. She goes, "Okay, let's do this. I'll go get the gloves, and you get the stuff that potentially blows up. Cool." And she doesn't wait. She like gets up and starts to go over and get stuff.
I'm concerned, but I'm okay with this. We'll see where this goes.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the background, there's a Miss Rodriguez. Put that down.
I think her first name is No.
Mr. Klein, could you please work with your partner? Mr. Klein is the teaching assistant.
Mr. Klein, bottle it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just takes off his goggles and rubs his eyes.
Miss Rodriguez is actually explaining the process to the teaching assistant. The teaching assistant looks like he's being left behind.
I feel like Mr. Klein's first name is I'm sorry.
All right, so Taz comes back. She's got goggles on. She has another pair of goggles that she hands to you. She has a third pair of goggles that she's used to shove her hair back. It's kind of using it like a headband. And she got the most ridiculously oversized like rubber gloves to get on there that like go kind of all the way down to her elbows. Safety first, right? And she gets in there. All right, let's mix some acids and bases. I'm just kidding. I heard what we were supposed to be doing. It's all fine. Gets in there, and you guys just kind of work. Not that big a thing. Do you do anything? Are you asking her anything? Or are you just kind of trying to play it straight? What are you doing there?
Well, I mean, she kind of set the tone with get the things that blow up So Leo's kind of warily watching her to be like, what is your deal? And you can learn a lot by watching how people operate in the lab. Either they learn by themselves or they learn from somebody who does it professionally or they learned at school. And it depends on kind of a balance of speed, surety, and precision.
I would definitely, I would definitely like to see you pierce the mask on her, just to kind of see. I'm going to give you that information you're kind of looking for, but I think you're going to get more than that. Potentially get more than that. Wow, a full hit. Jeez Louise. Okay. What are you planning? What do you do? What do you intend to do? All right. So
Well,
she's doing this as though she is someone who is not only familiar with the process but has done it before. So she's just I'm not so she I'm not saying it's not as though she's going through the motions. She is going through it with a surety that it probably would have been nice to see in the TA, to be perfectly honest. Because it's just it's like it's like she's building a Lego kit that she's done already a couple of times. Like she just knows where everything's going to be and she knows what the result's going to be. So she's kind of doing this and she's being careful. Like it's the same kind of thing, she's going through the thing, but when it comes to the parts where you need like some fine control, she goes, "Can you get that for me?" Yeah, nice and slow. All right, and one drop. Blink. Oh, look at that pretty little cloud. Oh, and this one's orange. What a surprise! And she, kind of going through that. So she's doing this, and she's doing these kind of precise things. She's like, so Leo. Leo Snow. You
yes.
are you a science head? Are you a science nerd?
Yeah. I like cars too, but yeah, science is cool.
So mechanics. Are you? Do you do like? Are you in the robotics club? Anything like that? Any cool stuff like that? Well, cool, but cool. Do you like the school robotics and stuff? Fighting
I
robots?
hesitate. I hesitate to call it a robotics club cool at this school, but I guess like we just don't have the funding for it. Plus, there's no facilities. Plus, he realizes he's talking too much about this. He's like, no,
Oh, is it is it
yeah,
is it basically Roombas with knives strapped to the top?
it kind of is.
Oh,
And like privately, Leo's just like, I don't want to hang out with those people because they are terminally awful compared to where I'm operating now. It would be like him as a student attending first grade. It's like, here's Dick and Jane. Can you read it? He's like, yes.
yeah.
Technically, I can, but it's a monumental waste of my time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's what you're into, but not what you're into here.
Exactly.
What are you into here? Hand me that beaker.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I got to go to school because I got to maintain a GPA and I got to have a clean record and yeah,
Cool, cool.
that's how it is.
What about virtual machines? You ever do anything with that? Like cyber robots, automated processes like that? You ever think about doing anything like that? Fuzzy logic, AI, anything like that?
Privately, he hears this and Leo is thinking, okay, so you're talking about Digimon, which explains the goggles.
The extra goggles?
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah, AI is kind of a cool thing, I guess.
Uh, no, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I figure if you can't work with the actual machinery because they don't have the funding, you at least make your own machinery, right? Make your own stuff.
Well, no, so the fidelity of the simulation really affects like the viability of any sort of modeling of robotics. Like if you just have a really simple like two-dimensional Conway Life type simulator, like that's interesting as a toy, but useless for modeling any sort of real robotics. And if you're not modeling a real system, you're basically either playing a game or writing an interface. And he's still talking too much. He's like, yeah, I guess it depends.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. All right, no, cool, cool. That's cool. It's cool you got stuff that you're into. Uh, she, you know, I think how many times were you supposed to go through this for iterations? Like 4? Or did he say 5?
He's gonna look at his notes. He's like, I don't remember how to do this shit.
Oh,
I don't.
did we do 4 or 5? Let's say we did 5. I feel like we did 5. We know what the answers are, right? I mean, and she starts scribbling down the answers like down the pads, like, okay, that'd be this one, and this is going to be the acidity level after that one. It's going to be the base level after this one.
A good sample size is at least 12 anyway, so that's kind of useless.
This
So,
one's going to be
like,
neutral. Yeah, we don't.
did you
There's no way.
did you get held? Did you get held back like a grade? Are you repeating grade?
No, no. Well, I did 8. I did. They're still trying to place me, and this is the class I was in, but it's kind of a hobby, one hobby. So it's pretty familiar stuff. My dad's, uh, he's drilled me on this for a long time, so this is all pretty basic stuff. It's kind of like, this is gonna be funny. It's kind of like, and you guys, I don't want to say it's bad. I mean, I know, and it's probably fine, but I mean, you clearly know what's going on. It's kind of like if you get brought in to like a book club and they want you to read like Dick and Jane, and like, yeah, you totally can, but how much of a waste of the time of that is going to be for your time? So it's kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do.
So yeah, I mean, she pretty much comes up with exactly the analogy we're sort of thinking of with the robot thing, and not the first time that you've thought about that too. So you had a really good sort of pierce the mask thing there. Um, what do you think you've read off of her, aside from the fact that she's pretty good at this stuff? And as soon as she's got the experiment done, she's sort of one-handing her phone again. And at one point in time, the science teacher does say something like, um, Miss Kalik, we are not using cell phones in the middle to get our, we're not using electronic devices in the middle of class, and that's part of the assignment. Sir, yes, sir. Drops it back in the glove, waits about 5 in her pocket, pulls it back out about, a minute and a half later, is back to doing it. He doesn't even really look up because he's doing stuff up at his desk and circling around through the other tables. He barely gives you guys a glance. He just kind of nods to himself and nods to you and keeps going.
I'm not sure if I have a solid answer to it, but I think what are you really planning is something I want to try to get a sense of.
Well, uh, she says something like, at one point, it's like, well, this is that. I mean, this is what it is. There's a lot of other classes that I'm not like a dead ringer for. This one's, a little bit easier stuff. Like, um, next, like she rattles off her schedule, and she realizes that she's like 6 for 8 on having sort of the same classes as you. Um, so what are you really playing? I don't know. It feels like this is a little bit intentional. It feels like she's, for whatever reason, is kind of. Uh, it doesn't exactly feel like stalking, but she's kind of putting herself in your path a lot, but without it being like a weird
No, too late. It's weird.
crushy kind of. Well, it's not a crushy kind of thing, but she seems to like, why? And she's saying it. She's like, why do you have that look? What is that face? What did your face just do?
I'm going to compose my thoughts because I have this brief impulse of an idea.
Oh, okay.
What the second question I want to ask is, what do you want me to do? Which I think I could probably pick up on.
Okay. Well, yeah, she asks you mostly she segues off of asking you questions about yourself to asking questions about the school. Um, because she doesn't really know anybody here. Her dad can kind of work anywhere, and her mom gets transferred a lot, so she's just here in Halcyon. She used to be here back when she was like in 7th grade, but now they're back again. So she doesn't really know anybody, and the people she does know are at a different school. Um, so, she, it's kind of a new deal. I mean, she knows people, and she knows some people that are here, but she hasn't been able to hook up with them. And I know I'm like online and stuff. So, it's going to be kind of weird because I haven't really met him face to face, even though I've known him forever. So I don't know if you know people or it's fine. I can sit by myself in the cafeteria or whatever at lunchtime. I just, if you know somebody, if you know people, I can sit there and look enigmatic.
I think I might know some people on this planet. Yes.
I, you don't have to be difficult. I mean, geez. Okay. Uh,
It's fine. It's
what
fine.
were you kind of asking? What do you want from me, or what was the
Yeah.
second one?
As a player, I'm asking basically, what do you want me to do? Um,
Um,
that's the second question.
she's looking for, I think. Well, on the face of it, it appears she seems to be angling for, like, she's being very blunt about, like, I need to know somebody. I'd like to know somebody in this school, and you're pretty cool, so you would be okay to know. Um, you feel like there might be more to that, but it's kind of like an inside joke that you don't quite get. Um, or like a signal you're missing, or something. You don't think it's romantic? Question mark. You feel like
I,
like
I wouldn't notice anyway. So it's
not
like,
for the first time you think to yourself that you need to like come up with some sort of like Google Glass alternative so you can record these kinds of conversations and play them back for Newman and have her like subtitle them, or do uh, uh like a VH1 pop-up video so you could like see the footnotes on the subtext that you're missing.
I want to tell you in all seriousness, I had conversations with a special needs educator, and I specifically said it would be amazing if we had Google Glass or augmented reality type stuff that people with certain emotional conditions, like if you're on the spectrum, for example,
Oh
could
yeah.
wear or use that just showed you these cues. And on a related note, I said you could do like an Xbox plus what is the motion capture thing?
The
No,
Connect.
yes, thank you. You could do a game that you could give to these kids where you would let them do like these simulated human interactions, and it would just tell you like on screen, like, Timmy, look, you just do that. So yes,
Yep.
that would be amazing.
Like Dragon Age meets pop-up video, or really any BioWare game, just less sex potentially.
Please, no, at all. Okay,
That kind of simulation.
I have a third question. I think I'm going to hold off on that for now, if that's okay.
Okay, that's totally fine.
Okay, so let's proceed with science class and whatever comes next.
All right. So, third period. What did I say? Third. What did you say?
Third was science.
Oh, your foreign language. Yeah, third was science. For Adam, it was Spanish. The problem that you're having with Spanish, Adam, is that the concordance will translate if you let it. So, which makes it really hard to actually learn it because you thought, oh, this is awesome, but you don't hear the Spanish. He just says stuff and you understand it. And then you answer in English because you know what he meant. And then he's like, en español, por favor. And you're like, but you didn't start it in español. And all the class is kind of looking at you and he's like, oh, wait, yeah, I did. Okay. So it's constantly sort of a challenge of like making sure that the concordance isn't helping. Because it keeps sort of automatically going into like TARDIS translation mode.
Fun times.
Yeah. So you have to keep kind of like, and it's like one of those like notification apps on your phone that keeps adding, like you uncheck notifications and then like it lasts for about 2 days and then it starts sending you notifications again about this app that you told it not to send notifications about. You have to go back in and shut it off again. And it's just, not that I'm currently wrestling with that on my phone. But it's that same kind of situation where you have to constantly tell the thing, no, stop it.
The worst part is Adam totally knows. He's like, yeah, I could say stuff and they will completely understand it, but that will totally give away the game.
Yep. And
I mean, for my money, it would be really interesting to know if you spoke Spanish, like if you use this thing to speak Spanish, what accent would you have? Like, where would it sound like you're from?
So you're ready to do like experiments on it, like how can we
Leo's always down for experiments. Right on. But anyway,
that is why Adam will have. It'll come in as whatever sounds natural to the person hearing it.
So like a native for whatever.
Well, no, for whatever they're used to, I am sure if somebody like I feel it's one of those things where it's like if he was in the middle of talking to a whole bunch of people in Mexico and there were like, I don't know, some Dutch tourists there in the background, he would just start talking and all of them would hear what they thought was pitch perfect Spanish, except for the Dutch people who would be like, wow, why is he speaking Dutch to all these people? That's weird.
Yeah,
Like,
why would he do that? Yeah. Uh, Awkward. Also makes Spanish class really, really hard.
yeah.
Have you ever explained to your mom why you're struggling so much with Spanish? Like why it's actually interfering with things, or do you not want to tell her about a downside with the concordance?
Oh no, I probably bet that he mentioned this once and she was just like, see, this is a horrible thing that's been upon you. However, you are making the best of it.
Oh, so she's
Or
trying to
some
like, I know you can overcome kind of thing.
I feel like it is nothing but positive reinforcement even if it's like backhanded in that household.
Very nice. Uh, okay. So you get through that. It's frustrating, but it's more of that. Hang on for just 1 second. Sorry, I had to dad for a second. Okay, so next period after that is science for Adam. In your case, it's geology, so earth science, and
Yes.
yes, and for Link, it's actually sort of like study hall, which is a terrible placement for study hall. It's the worst because it's right in the middle of the day. You can't really. I mean, it kind of helps you get ahead of the stuff in the afternoon or whatever, but it's basically just lame. Um, in terms of it's just bad placement. You can just as far as that goes. Um, Otto, of course, knows this and is sending you more than a few messages during study hall. Um, Taz also apparently has the same study hall, but and starts it out with more furious texting. But she gets called out of the study hall like a couple times because she has to like fill out stuff for the main office. So she's in and out during the whole thing. What do you do during the study hall? I was like, anything interesting happening, boss?
Could you just ram through the wall and get me out of here?
So that would be a no then.
I guess.
What do you mean you guess?
Okay, so
You
I,
always
I,
say
I
yes. So what do you mean you guess?
there's this weird woman who's in the class in science class with me,
A
but
woman?
she's safer than the other one. So
He sends you a picture of Rodriguez that you sent to him at one point in time, like with a question mark.
no, she's the crazy one. This is the weird one.
Need more
So
need more info.
okay, so the weird one, shit, Taz. And this is like Leo's like struggling to remember. He's like, I didn't pay attention to this part.
He sends you a picture of the Tasmanian devil with a question mark and an
No,
eggplant.
no, that's Rodriguez. That's how she acts. This one, okay, she's got like 6 out of 8 classes, I think. She's asking me like, can she hang out? She's asking me questions. Like she's engaging socially with me. It's weird. Okay,
Okay.
don't ask me to explain this.
All right. Pixar, it didn't happen.
Well, then it didn't happen. I don't know. What?
If she's in
I don't
class with
care.
you, take a picture.
I can't just have my phone out. We'll
You were
get dinged for
literally
that.
texting with me right now.
Yeah, but that's study hall. It's different. Okay, like if I'm doing a science experiment, I have to do the science experiment, or he comes over. He's like, "Why aren't you doing the science experiment, Leo? Don't you like science?" And I'm like, "You son of a bitch! I have a talking AI car outside."
Is she in study hall with you?
I'll look around.
Yeah, she is. Like I said, she's in and out,
Okay.
but she's
I,
there now.
I, I'll do my discreet 007 impression and get like a sneaky camera phone shot and send that to Otto.
Very 90s Portland. Uh, Army brat? Question mark?
I didn't ask.
What's that?
Why don't you get in here and talk to her? Like you,
It's important for your mother and I to be aware of all the women in your life, Leo.
my mother.
He's putting it in
That's
quotes.
not
He's putting
that's
it in
not
quotes.
creepy.
He's putting it in quotes like he's quoting like Leave It to Beaver or something like that.
Okay, so all right, listen. I have an idea.
When's she
I'll
coming?
get her
When's she coming
number.
over for dinner?
I'll get her number. I'll send it to you, and you can text her.
That's a great move, boss. I'll win her over for you.
Now, see, Otto's response to that, now that he's mentioned like 90s Portland, is in the Roll20 chat.
Okay. All right. Oh God.
Okay, so I will proceed to enact this plan.
What plan? Giving her
Yeah,
Otto's
I'll just
number?
I will discreetly get her attention and be like, hey, you wanted to talk to people. Give me your phone number, and I will put you in touch with the people.
Oh, cool. Like, are they not? Never mind. It's sure. Cool. They have like phone number, huh? They have like Twitter handle? Anything?
You could ask him.
Out of curiosity, does Otto have a Twitter handle? Does
I'm
he?
going to say right now, no.
Does he
He's
tweet?
still. He doesn't really like. He's more in like the specialized circles. Like if you go to like the Top Gear forums, he's there. He will probably get on Twitter after not too long, just to keep track.
With like a bumblebee icon.
I really need
But it's
the
like
hardest part
it's like
for
a
Otto on
cartoon.
Twitter is
Go ahead.
yeah. The hardest part for Otto on Twitter is finding a handle that really sells it. Honestly, that's the player talking.
Yeah, that would no. You're right. That would probably, and that would actually probably get Otto. But his icon he already has worked out because it's going to be a picture of the main character from the Bee movie because he's a bumblebee, but he's not the bumblebee. He's not Bumblebee. You can hear the capital B with that.
That's more layers of indirection than Leo wants to process. So yeah, he can do that.
So it's a bumblebee who's the bumblebee, but he's not that bumblebee, so nobody will know that it's me. Or something.
Okay, and that picture is now in Roll20 as well. So there you go.
What picture? Oh my God. Oh. Yeah. Oh yes. Yes. That would be his icon on Twitter. Oh my God, we have to make that happen.
All right, I'm feeling danger now.
Lunch. You two can finally talk to each other. This is the one time that you guys actually overlap, so to speak. It's exhausting. How was geology, Adam?
So
I
Adam
heard you
is
say yes, but I was curious why.
yes. No, Adam is probably going to go off about like glacier flows and all sorts of stuff to anyone who is willing to listen at this point, because he'll be like, it changes over time, and for some reason that just gets to him.
Okay.
That's history right there.
Yeah. So high school sophomores, even in like advanced science, are not really like feeling this There's a lot of blank stares.
Mm-hmm.
The teacher is like appreciates your enthusiasm, but also actually no, I take that back. Your teacher just appreciates your enthusiasm.
Got to come at like a 12-year-old man.
Yep.
Super into everything.
And he's actually the same kind of guy. His icon on his like school email is like the guy in the lab coat from Team Fortress 2. Do you know which character that is?
Uh-huh.
I don't know that. I don't know which. I don't know Team Fortress 2 well enough, but I know the guy.
Medic.
What's that? The medic.
Oh,
Yeah.
the medic.
Medic.
So he's got like like sort of a science. Like if you took the medic and put like somebody did like somebody somewhere must have done fan art with the medic having like science goggles on and like a weird like sort of mind control cap on that looks like make him look like a mad scientist, and he uses that as his icon on his school email and stuff. He's a cool dude. So science is pretty okay. You get to lunch feeling all right. You see Link or Leo sitting at one of the tables and kind of by himself, and he takes like a bite of something and he kind of like rolls his eyes at the ceiling, pulls his phone out, looks at it, taps like 3 things back, puts it back in his pocket, takes another bite, rolls his eyes, pulls his phone out. It's been going like that for a while. Also, the ponies are kind of have decided that it's pick on / flirt with Link Day. So that's happening. Power pony.
Oh, God.
What was the other one that you mentioned? There was another one that you mentioned not that long ago. It was
There's at least like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, but
by
there was
now.
one
They're
that you mentioned.
They're multiplying.
Yeah, there was one that you mentioned kind of by. I can't remember what it was. I feel like there was another one that you mentioned not that long ago, like sort of specifically.
There was one that we had a makeup conversation with, Dusk Shine.
There you go. Yeah, Dusk Shine. It's mostly this, so we'll use those two. So we got Dusk Shine and Power Pony are sort of leading the charge on the teasing part. The flirting is sort of happening with everybody. Luckily, no eggplants have made an appearance. But in addition to that, then you've got Otto, who what he's doing right now is texting you potential Twitter handles now that this has come up, and they're progressively worse. Or punnier, or well, he would say better. You're not experiencing it in that order of progressively better. So the day is looking up at him because science was cool, and they've got some of the lunch that you like. I don't know which thing that would be.
Hot dogs.
It's pizza day. It's cheeseburger day. I don't know.
It's hot dog day.
It's hot dog day. Nice. So whatever meat mixed together tastes like freedom in a bun with ketchup.
If I see Adam, I'm going to be like, Mr. Wizard.
You're gonna be like,
Mr.
what?
Wizard, get me out of here.
So he sits down. He can sit down and sit down across from you.
Please just get. Can you conjure monsters or something?
I guess I could. I mean, I haven't really tried before, but they're energy constructs. So you're having a bad day. Okay. I don't think I can do that.
Damn it!
You weren't speaking hypothetically. You were speaking like, is there some way for you to situationally like pull a fire alarm? Basically,
The concordance does not like causing panic.
It wouldn't be panic. It'd be very orderly. They have. We got drilled on this last month. You remember? Like they have emergency exits. There's a fire alarm. You just pull it. They have designated spots to rendezvous. The teachers will escort everybody out. It'll be fine.
Taz's tray clunks down next to you too, guys, and she sits down.
Oh God!
What are we pulling?
Uh,
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Taz. This is my friend Adam.
Hello.
What's up? I'm Taz. He said that already. I'm gonna eat now.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Sorry. I'm gonna. Sorry. What did she actually say? I'm gonna cover up my social embarrassment by eating now. And also, she's texting with her other hand.
I could totally sympathize.
She had the cheeseburger.
We don't get to eat pork at home.
It's only about half pork.
Yeah.
Um,
See, I treat my body like a temple, but it's the temple from that Indiana Jones movie. So, you know,
So you pull other people's hearts out? I'm not following this analogy.
it's called barbecue. Okay.
dusty and.
Oh, okay.
Um, so how does the conversation shift once there's a witness?
I'm almost
Hold on.
certain as a player that she's gonna like realize that Otto has been texting her for a while and is gonna ask Leo about something about that. But
Nope.
if Adam's got something, go ahead.
Nope. I know exactly what it's going to be like. So why are you having a bad day, Leo?
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna make this high pitched whining noise of like I can't actually tell you. How about our mutual friend Jace had some problems this morning, and I was late because I was looking at his situation, and he's doing better now. I hope. I haven't heard, and my phone is blowing up, so things are just kind of busy. Hopefully, your classes are going well. Yokiro, Taco Bell. Like I don't know Spanish. Like what's it like, man?
Jace, is Jace cool? I mean,
No,
I don't need a bunch of guy numbers, but would you say no? Question mark. No.
basically yes.
Uh, all right. Well, fine. I mean, I don't need a bunch of guy numbers anyway, but I mean, just trying to meet people.
He doesn't go to this school anyway. He's kind of he's kind of uptight.
Is he older? I do meet older guys sometimes.
He it's probably better for you if you don't. He's trouble to in just yeah. Anyway, what classes do you both have coming up?
And the power ponies, for some reason, have like picked up on this. Like, oh, Linky's having a bad day. We can cheer you up, Linky. Let's meet for frappes after school at oh, what was it? Deja Brew.
I'm feeling around under the table for like an eject button or seat
Date
or something.
night. Everybody's like date night, date afternoon.
Adam is smiling at this
Well,
just
no,
because.
they're not. Well, I don't know. Unless you're also following him on Twitter, you're probably not seeing that part of it. But the fact that he's stressing out is
Oh, nope.
this is a Twitter thing happening.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can correlate between like there's a specific vibration the phone does and like an increase in blood pressure. So
Yeah.
there's like you can graph them and there's strong correlation there.
Well, and
Got it.
the text
So
messages have a different vibration, like a zzz, zzz, as opposed to Twitter, which is just bzzz.
Got
So-
it. So then beep frown instead.
Yeah, different things are causing different results. And Taz says something like, Leo is troubled with with his current. Leo is being troubled by technology.
No, technology is fine. It's what's behind the tech.
Who? So there are you being bothered by other humans?
That's a weird way to say it. I'm sitting here thinking like what? Um,
As opposed to
well,
technology. Like people.
I wouldn't say bothered. I would just say I'm uncertain how to respond at this time, and there's a lot to process. So
You seem flustered.
yeah, I agree with that. That's true.
Is he always flustered, Adam?
He's kind of flustered half of the time.
Huh. Okay. Cool. What do I have next? I have. She pulls out a big sheet, looks at it. Wait, I didn't actually read it. I have I don't know. I don't know what she has. She has something.
She reads off a class
Chinese.
list.
I have Chinese.
Mandarin language class.
Yep, Mandarin. I have Mandarin. Which
Well,
again,
how much do you speak now? I gotta know.
she rattles off like, well, actually, what she says, Adam, is my folks lived over in Hong Kong for 2 years, so I got immersion therapy, and I basically got immersion therapy and picked it up really fast. So I imagine this class is going to be super, super, super boring.
Oh, that's cool. Where were you at?
And she's like, "Oh, you speak too? Man, your accent is perfect. Like like Holy City perfect. Not Holy City. What the hell is the Emperor's?
Not
That'd be
Forbidden City.
Cantonese anyway, but yeah,
Forbidden City?
sure.
I don't know.
Your accent is like high class, perfect.
Yeah, so,
Meanwhile, Leo. Well, wait. What's the effect here? Yeah, she speaks a string of Chinese just to like apparently show off. Leo asks her a question in like like how long have you been studying it or no wait what
Adam
did you
does, but yeah, I know what you
yeah
mean.
you got what Adam said. You're not getting what she said, but Adam apparently understands everything she's saying. When did you learn Chinese?
hmm?
She
I
says
don't.
to you.
I
When did you
I
learn
don't know.
Chinese?
Adam's gonna catch himself at that point, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I've always kind of known. I'm not that good at it." And he'll like specifically like turn off the concordance at that point. It's just like, yeah,
Her eyebrows disappear up into the shaggy mop over her forehead. Like when you say like I'm not that good at it. Okay. So all right, new people, I am gonna go do the class that I don't see anybody in. You have a fantastically glitterful day, and I will see you later. See you cats later. It's
Yeah.
like super ironic about it. Like it's all delivered in an absolutely flat monotone. Um, but which you've decided is irony or her attempt at irony. And then she kind of chin nods and then heads out.
Okay. Third, Pierce the Mask question, I guess. What do you intend to do?
She seems quite intent on
I may
fitting
not
it.
have it yet, but I feel like either she's locked onto her objective or she's still coasting towards whatever it is.
She definitely wants to in some way uh socially connect with you guys and is trying to is sort of projecting without scaring you. Like she seems like she's trying to ride this line of not like not scaring you, I guess. It's the best way I can say it.
Too late.
Well,
yeah. So in fact, when she's gone, I'm just gonna look at Leo and just be like, "Leo, that lady's scary. What's her deal?"
I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't think she's dangerous. She's just weird. But I'll give it a shot. I'll see what I can figure out.
And
How are you
also,
holding up,
I think Adam's just gonna be like, "I think I slipped up around her."
man? What you talk Chinese, right?
Yeah,
So we teach Chinese at the school. So like, what's the big deal?
because it was the thing.
once again,
That's-
Adam fails to realize that you can solve a problem by lying about it.
Adam is incapable of solving a problem by lying about it.
Or even
the
thinking of that as a solution.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about. Well, like at least no, like Leo continues the thought in his head of like at least you're not throwing off visible sparks, and then he's like, if I actually say that, he's gonna think about it, and then he's gonna start doing it, and so I should just shut up right now.
Um, right.
So I mean, class is going okay for you though, right, dude?
Yeah. Except for Spanish. And about when I got in trouble in first period.
What'd you get in trouble for?
So we were, and he was just gonna like say it really quietly, and it's like when we were helping Jason, um, you know, I was here, and while all that was going on, I might have said some of the stuff during class that I was saying there. It's hard to keep like both head spaces separate whenever I do that. Which that was the first time, so I think I did really well for how well I could do, given that I'd never done that before.
When were you here? You're with us. What are you talking about?
So good news. The concordance lets me be in a lot of at least two places at the same time, just not effectively.
So, oh, I get it. Yeah, okay. So you're multitasking. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, but I'm bad at it.
Ah, but if you're trying to do exactly the same thing in two places, it would be better, right?
I guess, because then I wouldn't have to think about both the things at the same time, because they'd be the same things at the same time.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like if you're trying to throw darts at a board or something like that, and you're like all lined up at the board, and your aim is really good, you're all going to hit the target. Yeah. Okay, so that's awesome. I'm sorry that you got called on the carpet, but like that's still pretty amazing. Like I got called in because I was late, and I just told them my usual bullshit. You just like it's like water. It's like an ocean wave. You just kind of let it wash over you. Like when the teachers talk to you, and you're just like, yeah, just say what you got to say, and then you get back to class. Just it's cool, man.
Oh my God. Leo, for some reason, and not this is partly because I've been watching it. I've been exposed. I shouldn't be watching it. I've been exposed to it a lot. There's a Disney live action two movies, Descendants and Descendants 2, that they're starring like four kids that are supposed to be like the kids of villains that are trapped over on this island, and they get brought into the hero part of the world, kind of like on an exchange program to see if they can be redeemed or whatever. So they're taking a remedial goodness class from the fairy godmother in one of the classes, and she's like, when you see a baby, you sacrifice it to the dark gods. Two, drop it off a cliff or something like that. Three, steal its candy, and four, uh, you know, call the appropriate authorities.
Give it a bottle.
And they're all like sticking up their give it a bottle, and they're all and the other three, there's three of the kids that are getting very confused by this, and the third one is just uh the last one's like gets it right every time, and they're like, how are you doing this? She's like, just think of the answer that sounds the most boring, and they're all like, Leo sounds just perfect for this, like, his whole anyway. It struck
Yeah,
me.
it really it's like taking the DMV test. Like Leo's philosophy on the DMV test is it's a multiple choice. Pick the most conservative answer, and it's always the right one.
Yep.
So, I think, by the way, Leo probably is triggering the comfort or support move. Because I totally need to get rid of conditions.
How about that?
Well, okay, so confidence. Oh, because you're trying to talk him through this. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you got. Can you please comfort or support me? Please.
Half of my moves trigger these things.
Nice. Comfort or
So
support?
that's actually 9 before the influence modifier, which would cap me at +4 anyway. So that's a full hit.
Nice.
Nice.
So, comforter support, which treats it like a 10. On a hit, they hear you, they mark potential. On a 10 plus, you can also add team to the pool or clear a condition yourself. Do you have a condition, Leo?
I have two. I'm going to clear guilty because I feel much better. But like I let Jason down, but I feel like I'm doing my part for Adam.
Not exactly let Jason down, but it's nice of you to say so.
Oh, and look at this. When you comfort or support your lover rival, which he is, mark potential on a hit.
Nice.
Nice.
Man, that's quite productive.
So I am.
What are you clearing?
I am clearing afraid, which I think feels pretty good in this one. I mean, not so afraid of the powers anymore.
That's good.
Actually, no. We're getting rid of angry, because I imagine he would be less irritable about the whole situation. Mostly because I marked angry whenever I did the split anyway.
Oh, right. That's cool.
Actually, Adam, I have some questions about this. Actually, look, this translation thing you can do.
Uh,
Can you choose which language you talk?
I have no idea.
That's awesome.
I got to tell you, like, supposedly, like, Afrikaans is the best language for swears. Like, I bet that there's a bunch of kids at the school who'd be really intimidated, like, if you started swearing at them in Afrikaans.
Adam's got to think about this for a second. He is going to try and see whether or not he can wrap this into his like mental headspace or not. And he's like, after a few seconds, he's just gonna like shake his head like really leerily at Leo and just be like, I don't think I can do that, Leo.
Oh, okay, fine. But like everything you can do is so cool, man. It's like it's so good. I love hanging out with you.
You're running odds on, so I like how you answered it. I don't know if I can do that. Might mean swear a bunch or use my power in that way. And it could be either one of those things.
But like in Leo's mind, it's like, yeah, but this would be like a non-violent solution to a conflict if you could do it.
If you could just swear really well. You might need to hear the language before you can copy it, at least the first time. But the other thing is, like, you can't help but think, what are the odds that if I'm doing that, my mom knows enough Afrikaans that she would know what I was saying? And that is so risky at that point. And even though the odds of her actually knowing that is basically zilch.
Oh no, the worst idea of that is all of a sudden that winds up being the one time it gets videotaped on by the news. They totally have translators, and they are just going to be like, "Foul-mouthed youth superhero belittles opponent."
But you have that Rocket Raccoon appeal. Like, you're small and cute, you got the scarf, but like you really have this really foul mouth. But people love Rocket Raccoon.
They can't stay mad at the raccoon.
That's funny.
And that idea just like came out of Leo's head and is just going to go nowhere. But like he's really fired up now.
Okay, so what is your next class? Lunch is rapid. They give you like all of 30 minutes for lunch. It's the worst. Your next class after lunch is going to be social studies, Adam, and Link. I'm switching you around, so you probably have like English or something like that. Like, or did you do? Well, that's fine. So the beep thing that tells people it's time to move on to the next. It's always like there's this beep, and then somebody on the intercom says something, but nobody can tell what they're saying. And it's always something else, something different every time. So somebody is actually talking somewhere into the mic, but it's not. Nobody ever knows what they're actually saying. Sometimes it sounds like the assistant principal. Nobody knows. This time though, the alarm goes off, and it just keeps sounding like.
Woo! I knew he'd do it.
And then the lights right above Adam's spark Which again,
Uh-oh.
Leo, you're thinking to yourself, no, wait a second, I didn't actually tell him not. Wait, I didn't mention that, so he shouldn't be thinking about it. So he shouldn't be doing that unless he can read my mind. Can he read my mind? Can you read my mind? This all
Not all the
Because
happens.
that would be
time.
amazing.
Um, then the intercom cuts in over the thing, and it says very clearly, which is the weirdest thing about the whole thing. I'm going to try to get this. Earthlings, do not resist, do not interfere. Farlander is here to retrieve Keenome. Do not resist, you will not be harmed.
Why does Keenome sound familiar?
Why does Keenome sound familiar? Do you have the ability to sort of reference your concordance?
You know what? That sounds like an Unleash Powers move.
It does kind of sound like an Unleash Powers move. This
I
is
know.
overcoming and I don't know. It sounds like enough like unleash your. When you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your. We'll call it extend your senses.
That's a hit.
That is I didn't look. I didn't get it up yet. There we go. Keyman. I gotta look at this thing first. Oh my god. That is a hit when you unleash your powers. Okay. I don't want you to mark a condition, so how about I tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary? Which is, in this case, is going to be you don't know much.
Okay.
All right.
Or maybe I'm like just getting this like secondhand, and I don't like. I'm gonna have to take time to actually delve into the concordances.
Yeah, you're getting kind of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy entry.
Yeah.
You know, something really kind of almost. It's like a. I hate to make this reference again, but it's almost like one of those flashes from Chuck. The keynomes are some sort of thing, some kind of artifact or lodestone or scattered bits of particularly potent SAR stuff that have been like scattered around the cosmos. They're supposed to be able to wake up, like if they're all collected in one place, they will reawaken the star mines.
None of that sounded good.
Yeah, and honestly, nobody's been able. There are wildly varying opinions on whether or not "quote unquote" waking the star mines is actually a good thing or a fantastically horrible thing. Cosmic signature or signature of cosmic energy located in this area. Firelander to retrieve Earthlings. Refrain from interference, and Firelander will depart. Interfere, and you will be vaporized.
So I think this is the time to go run back to Leo.
Well, you guys were just kind of getting up from the lunchroom anyway, while this was happening. So you're kind of all in the lunchroom, and one of the teachers who's still kind of in the lunch, unless you wanted to be far enough away. One of the teachers runs over, or you get like there's like amber lights, small ones that are like put into the drop ceiling next to wherever they've got the little security cameras and stuff scattered around like so that basically at the front door of most of the like every 20 or so feet in the hallways, in the lunchrooms and stuff, these are little amber lights. It's not an alarm, it's a silent alarm, I should say, that flashes these things when basically the school's going into lockdown and everybody's supposed to go like or stay in their rooms, lock the doors, all that kind of stuff. Lunchroom's a little bit trickier because it's lunchroom. So, what do you guys do?
I thank Adam profusely for doing what I asked him. Like, dude, I didn't think you're gonna do it.
Dude, that was awesome. I totally bought that.
No, that's real.
What?
So the Kenome is in the Concordance's memory thing. And I don't know really what it is, but it's really bad if they're all gathered together.
Okay, so what do we do?
Stop them?
Leo, your phone's buzzing.
I'll check my phone.
It's Otto actually calling.
Yeah, hi. Good timing.
Did you like activate like stuff here at the at the yard?
No, why?
Because like 4 suitcases sort of assembled themselves and started and like just ran out.
God damn it. Okay,
He's
get my
like,
get my suit and get over here right now.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna follow that, but I'll get where you. Right. Okay. Yes, I'm on the way, boss. Already on the way.
Okay, excellent. Adam, what do we got to do? Like, whatever.
Well, I could. You need your suit, and I could take you to it, but I can't do it in front of all these people.
You might be able to improvise until your suit gets here.
Yeah, let's. You know what? Let's just get. Hey, chemistry lab. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Chemistry lab.
Okay, so you guys are okay. So the teacher is escorting everybody from the lunchroom into like where would they go? Where would they go? They'd go into like actually into the kitchens. Like that area can be like they can drop down the little like barrier on the front window of the place and lock the windows and stuff like that. So how do you get away without the teacher seeing you guys? What do you do? If you actually just use your powers, it's fine. You don't need to unleash their regular people. I just want to know how you deal with that in a way that's at the same time also keeping you guys on the down low.
There's probably a crowd, right?
Yeah, they're all kind of like filing that direction and stuff like that. So if you guys just
Okay.
kind of slip away, that's cool.
If we just duck under like some tables and then kind of go the opposite way, people are probably gonna like go around us.
Okay.
We'll just be sneaky.
Yeah, everyone's going to assume that everybody is just following procedure.
Okay.
So all we have to do is be out of sight, and there'll be too many people for them to actually notice.
Yeah,
Individuals.
The only people who are applying scrutiny to the situation are the teachers, and they're basically going to be looking for anomalies and aberrations and just make sure like the kids are coming.
Right.
But they're kind of assuming that like this is not
the kids
this is
are coming,
normal.
yeah.
The kids are coming.
Yeah.
So the whoever's talking, on the intercom is, repeating themselves, do not resist, stay out of the way, Kenome will be located, Farlander will depart. And then it kind of crackles. Not exactly. It's almost a record scratch. No, you should all resist. Fight back. Be free. Make your own decisions. Take this weird alien thingy down. Do whatever it is you Earthling people do. Set fire to stuff. Burn this building down and he can't get whatever it is he wants. Go. And it's like, and then it kind of screeches again. It's like, do not interfere with this frequency. This is a broadcast from the Farlander. Earthlings will. It's like, so these two separate entities seem to be arguing over the school intercom. Which is to say, one of them is trying to maintain order and get everybody to obey, and the other one is just sort of taunting them. Kind of.
That was weird.
They have a weird. It's the voice sounds female, but it also has like this weird. Actually, Adam, it has a really weird kind of. I don't want to say fingernails on chalkboard, but it doesn't. It has a real electric kind of response to your nervous system when you hear that second voice, that female voice. Is very, very visceral. reaction to the something about the voice. Not
All right, so
recognition. It's there's a tenor to the voice that seems to really ugh, with
so
you.
I think that's probably when, like, as Adam and Leo are like covertly running down the hallway, Adam just sort of like, just like freezes up for a second and just like, Pratt falls onto the ground.
I'm gonna grab him and keep running.
And he's small enough you can kind of pick him up halfway and then kind of drag him the rest of the way. Uh,
I would really prefer that person not talk. I felt that in my feelings.
Okay,
the
so like both these people are probably not in the school though, right? You figure?
Um,
they're
could
somewhere around the school. They're somewhere near. They'd have to be, or they because to interfere with the system.
I was about to say, can I get like a general idea of like radio signals or whatever they're using to override the intercom system?
Yeah. Why don't you also why don't you do another unleash your powers? I think. Let me look at that.
Okay.
Well, wait. Hang on.
Or an assess the
Yeah, I
situation?
think assess the situation actually.
All right.
Ooh. Okay. So you you kind of do the thing where you ask the world a question, not nearly at that scale, but you kind of like get ready to you're going to do that thing where you kind of raise your consciousness back up so you can kind of look at the whole space around the school and look for weird energy signatures, kind of go up to 200 feet up and kind of look down. And as you're
Mhm.
casting yourself up, your consciousness back up, your concordant psyche, so to speak, rebounds violently off of some kind of barrier, or it strikes it literally, like it strikes something in as it's rising up above the school and rebounds and snaps back into your body, and you go down to your knees just gasping. And the whole argument on the intercoms, um, uh, just there's a massive squeal over the intercom, and then the first voice comes back and says, secondary cosmic signature located. Or sorry, I guess he would say tertiary cosmic signature located, concordance, eliminate with extreme prejudice before retrieving keynome.
And that's when Adam's just gonna be like, problems.
Okay, so like, what is this Kenome thing? Like, what are we looking for?
It is so. Remind me about this, Doy. So it's some sort of cosmic stone power source. It sounds like,
Sure.
but at the same time, it's some sort of like
I
all
mean,
like reassembled. It is some sort of like doomsday or worse sort of device. Some sort of
or possibly, wonderful. Who knows? It could be wonderful. Probably not wonderful. Could be wonderful. Less than the Infinity Stones, more than, you know,
Just stones?
yeah,
got it.
yeah. It's not like either. They're neither as limited in number as the Infinity Stones, nor as powerful, but they're certainly um, artifacts in their own right, and exponentially so when combined with others and that sort of thing.
Got it.
Um,
So,
but he's
Leo,
not.
did you?
The voice isn't saying that like you're a keynome or anything like that. It's like you
No,
just
no.
alerted them to your presence by whatever. Apparently, they put some kind of something
Force
up around the
field.
school.
Right.
Um,
So Adam's just gonna be like, to answer Leo's question. It's like, Leo, did you ever watch Dragon Ball?
If I say no, will you believe me?
no, I don't even believe you.
Damn it.
Uh,
They're
they're
Dragon
Dragon
Balls.
Balls.
I get the idea. Okay, good enough.
That's actually a really good analogy. I like that. When you get to the chemistry lab, this would have just been just at lunch, and there's a lot of different labs. I want to say the chemistry lab is empty and not locked right now. Although when you go in, you do find that Miss Rodriguez is in there. Because apparently that's where she eats lunch. Because why wouldn't you eat your lunch around a bunch of chemicals?
Oh my
Yeah.
word. Okay.
Hold on.
Hey, what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you want me to do it?
Go ahead.
All right. So
Leo!
outside.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Anyway, outside. Keep going.
I was gonna say before we went in.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say before we, unless yours is really good, but I was just gonna be like before we went in, I was just gonna have Adam transform into Concord, go in and just tell Miss Rodriguez, you need to be on the other side of the school.
I'm okay with that. If you are, Doyce, it's up to you.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I mean, are you? Are you? Okay. I'll just Wow. I mean, are you gonna fight these? That's so cool. Do you want some help?
With science.
You're gonna fight them with science? I wanted to fight things with science for so long. Let me please help, please.
It is super dangerous, and I really cannot.
When you say it is super dangerous, she goes, that is just what the teacher says. That's not actually true. I know what I'm doing.
And I think this is probably when the concordance voice is going to back up,
Oh, I
or
see.
is going to kick in. It's just going to be like, you need to flee the area for your own safety.
I need to flee the area for my own safety. Yes, thank you. I will be fleeing the area for my own safety. I will find safety on the other side of the school. Thank you.
At which point Adam is just like in the back of his head is like, that is super troubling.
There's this thing with it's some X-Men episode cartoon not from a couple years ago where Emma Frost is working with the X-Men, and there's like some crazy thing where like a building's at risk, and you cut to the inside. It's like, what's going on with the innocents inside the building? Don't worry, I've got them under control. And every single one of them is like filing out of this office block, all having the identical like thought bubble over their head. I will exit the building in a calm and orderly manner. I will exit the building in a calm and orderly manner. I will exit the building in a calm and orderly manner. It's just, yeah, kind of like that. So she exits out, doesn't even really look at you, Leo. Before you step in there, your phone's ringing again, buzzing.
God damn it.
Boss, I have good news and I have bad news.
Give me the bad news.
The bad news is, wait, can I do it in the other order?
No.
It's better the other way. The good news is I'm almost there. I'm like really, really almost there. The bad news is the robot that assembled itself is ahead of me and going to get to this, going to get there before me because apparently it's going to the same location.
How fast are you?
I'm really fast. This thing is really, really fast. He's like, and he shows you a shot of it, and it looks like you've got some decommissioned Rossum stuff, and it looks like a bunch of decommissioned parts.
See, aren't you grateful I left you that?
Yes, I'm so glad that you did. I mean, I had ideas, but then I was like, oh, this is so much better. You can see it kind of like running and stuff, and it's like, it looks like, and they shouldn't all go together necessarily, and they don't seem to go together very well, but they had a little bit of a head start, boss, okay? It's going to be close. Anyway, the parts like apparently like put themselves together in some fashion, and although they're really not, so they weren't all from like one robot or something like that, but they all kind of assemble. It's mostly Rossum bits. Looks like some other stuff, but mostly Rossum bits that put themselves together, and apparently heading beeline straight for the school.
Okay, I never want to hear from you again how fast you are until you beat this thing. Do it.
Yes, boss.
I know you can do it.
Can't talk. Winning.
Okay, Adam, I guess you powered up. I feel useless here. I'm going to grab some chemicals here that look likely, and okay. I'm going to head for where I think, like, if anything in the school is broadcasting, it seems like if they're going to use the regular equipment, it would be the principal's office, I assume.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
either they've tapped into the comms somehow, or they're just like overriding with some super science tech, or they're just like, there. So that's the only place I can think to go.
You grab a bunch of stuff and head that way. And as you're exiting, something comes in through the window, Adam.
And that's probably when, right as Leo's bundling everything up, and it's just like,
Well, Leo just stepped out, has just head out into the hallway.
right. Adam's just gonna, as he's leaving, he's just gonna be like, "But what am I gonna do?" And then window.
And then
Ow.
window. Perfect.
Ow.
Perfect. And we get.
I'll cover you.
My. Hang on for 1 second. I'm sorry. That's disappointing. Some of the stuff I did today did not synchronize, and I need to fix that. But anyway, neither here nor there. All right, crap. I'm going to have to do a different link here. One moment. Uno momento. Close a couple of things here.
Okay, so we've stopped the giant robot while it's searching for memes. Good.
No, it's not a meme thing. I need an actual picture of the person that just came in through the window. And for some reason, it didn't sync up on my drive that I did yesterday, which is super annoying. 1 moment. Game loading. Please wait. Super masks image. There we go. Back over here. Hopefully this will actually work. Of course it won't. There we go. All right. Hopefully this will share right to where you guys can actually click on it and open it. There we go.
Nice.
All right. So that comes through the window.
You're a bug.
Concordance signature located. Prepare to be vaporized. Or don't prepare. It's fine with me. And he's got like 2 blaster pistols in its like middle arms.
Is this Peridot?
Is this what?
Is this Peridot?
Peridot?
From Steven Universe?
No, but it should be. Because as we all know, Concord is actually manifesting the Steven Universe superhero genre.
That fits.
It totally does. It really, really does. So yeah, it's got like some sort of gizmos, and apparently it's not really talking. Its mandibles are working, but there's some sort of like thorax mounted like the
voice
belt
box.
The voice box is its belt its belt buckle, and that's pulsing every time it talks and stuff like that. Anyway, it's leveling these 2 glowing, mismatched but glowing tipped blasters your direction. What do you do?
I think we're going to go with the go-to Steven Universe and throw up a big shield.
So convenient when you've seen it. All right. I think it's not really defend though, is it?
No, I'd unleash your powers.
Unleash your powers, yeah. That sounds fine with me because yeah. You're throwing up the shield, but what's your is just try to stop him and try to take his measure here and see what's going on?
Yeah, kind of. It's just like, he's trying to blast me. I don't want him to. And obviously, if I can use this to get my advantage over him, that would be great. Also, I feel as though I am going to be... I really want to take this guy down. Does that sound like something I really want to do?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's almost exhilarating because the Concordance and you are sort of in alignment on this. And you've always kind of thought, since I'm part of the Concordance, I should really be fighting like aliens and stuff. And you finally are, which is kind of awesome.
Super. Well, then I am going to commit myself to defeat an enemy and mark a condition.
Okay, what does that do?
Take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of that goal.
Oh, that is scary. All right.
Super scary. However, every scene that I don't do it in, it's like Jason's stuff only worse because it's every scene.
Oh my god. All right. What happens if he gets away or something?
Yeah, that's gonna be bad for me.
Well, we'll have to see how that works then. Oh my god. Not that it's going to come up. So you were rolling unleash your powers. You want to reshape, kind of reshaping your environment, really.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, so the shield goes up, blasting stuff. The beams sort of just almost reflect. They don't ricochet, they reflect back off the shield. Um, hit the walls, but they don't really seem to do much. There's like sort of a bit of trailing smoke, but they aren't like scorching anything or anything like that. The window's taking more damage, really. Um,
So, while I'm kind of holding him back with our beam of war,
uh-huh.
um, can I like, is this guy like, is the Concordance know this guy? Is this somebody I can like get a read on from them?
Yeah. Why don't you?
Curse the mask.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a really good idea.
I am just fishing for moves today.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. So let's see.
That's pretty good. That's really
Yeah.
good. All right, pierce the mask. Ask me. Ooh, that's a full hit. So ask me a couple questions.
All right.
Ooh.
So I know what he's planning, so I'm not going to ask that.
Who wants the key number?
Um,
Although, if you do, does that give you a +1? No, it doesn't. This isn't the
No.
kind of thing where you get a +1 if you act on the thing. So yeah, never mind.
No. So let's see. I know what he intends to do. I'm going to ask this one right now. Is how can I gain influence over him?
Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Um, so he is a treasure hunter. He's sort of oh God, what was the bad guy in Indiana Jones?
Belloc.
Belloc. He's sort of like a star Belloc. Um,
Is he a cowardly and superstitious lot?
a little cowardly.
Okay.
He's also, the race is highly technically apt. They've got they have a lot of technical aptitude, and his stuff is basically a lot of tech stuff. How would you get influence over him? I think probably speaking with the voice of the Concordance and demonstrating your knowledge of who he is. Like we know who you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're not fooling anybody here. I am a fully make it seem like you're a fully knowledgeable representative of the Concordance.
Swear at him in Afrikaans.
Swear at him in Afrikaans. That is actually the shorter answer. I'm kidding.
All right. So, let me save the other two questions for right now.
Okay.
And I think what's going to happen then is Adam is just going to like go full on Concordance voice here, and it is just going to be like, Farlander, entity A7498. This is your seventh infraction against the Concordance. Do not make this your last.
Are you provoking him?
Yes.
I think you make
yes,
him
I am.
susceptible. All right, go ahead and do the provoke.
I want to do all the moves today.
See how I don't think we've had no, we had one provoke, but it was kind of off screen.
Man, I wanted to roll badly on one of these.
Oh my god, you're rocking this though. Look at you. When you provoke susceptible on NPCs 10 plus, they rise to the bait and do what you want. What do you want? What specifically do you want him to do?
Well, since I was basically threatening him with violence if he didn't leave, I kind of want him to leave.
You want him to flee? Okay, yeah, perfect. I'm gonna cut away from that for just a second. Link,
Perfect.
you are bolting for the you're bolting for the principal's office.
On
Although
the theory that we hear two voices, one of
Yep.
which is
There should be
unaccounted
another
for
one.
and maybe there. Yeah, I don't know.
So you come around the corner and like there's a barrier in your way and you slide underneath of it and it's Otto standing there in the hallway, like kind of bent over and stuff like that. So like I won, boss. So, and he kind of, I mean, what's the suit look like when it's like ready for you to? Is it a suit or is he just? Do you have to like get into the car or what do you do when he's bringing it to you?
I'm going to say that basically
'Cause
I
he's in
have
robot mode right now.
I have the Iron Man 2 suitcase that I can equip real
Nice.
fast.
I love
All
this.
of Link's technology is very modular. It's very easy to just plug in and put stuff together. So yeah, he's going to be able
So
to
what
slide
he
in there.
actually says when you slide around, slide under, he turns around and goes, "I packed you a lunch," and he holds out the suitcase.
Thanks, Lunchbox.
Oh no, that was uncalled for. That was just, all right. What do you want me to do?
I
want you to be proud that you got here first, man. I'm going to remember this. All right, get outside. We got a robot to fight. Come on.
Right. Okay, so
Like I'm still going to check the principal's office real quick, just in case.
you move. He's kind of lumbering after you because he's got to keep his head down. He's trying to do, obviously, he's trying to do as little damage as possible.
And I'm sitting there thinking, like, he's 20 feet tall. What are you doing in the building? You could have just parked out front. I could have just come out. But no, you got to show off.
Indeed. Okay, so you get out towards the front. You run by there. The glass is knocked in on the front sort of desk in the admin office and stuff like that. But everybody's seems to be okay. There's a couple people that are unconscious. They're seeing to each other. You're already in the suit, and they just kind of some people flinch back a little bit, like they're just more surprised than anything else. But there don't seem to be any baddies right there.
All right.
Do you help or do you keep going or what do you do?
Hey, folks, there's danger here. You need to evacuate to a safe place right at this moment.
Okay. All right. They just kind of nod. They don't really know who.
Now.
Well, we can't move her.
What? He'll look and see what they're trying to talk about.
There's like one of the assistants that sort of works the front desk is sort of damaged with she's down with like a gash on her forehead, and unconscious. So we can't safely move her. We're waiting for the specialist to show up. So they're kind of out in the open here a little bit, but not really. And I don't know that you're not necessarily medically trained for any of that kind of stuff. So if Numa were here, it'd be perfect. But
she's always perfect. But damn it. Okay.
Good call.
Do what you can. I will protect you until emergency services arrives.
You say that again. You're going to do what now?
I'll protect them until emergency services arrive.
All right. That sounds good, boss. And you see the it's much more cobbled together than this, but it's the basic idea. This is what it would be if it were. Oh, damn it! That's the wrong one. I was saving that for for one of your monologues. How did I click that?
I would be more worried if Rossum's equipment put that together.
That would be awesome.
I'd be like, you old man, I have no idea what you're into.
I have been saving. I'm a little bit bummed about that because I've been saving that to unleash on one of Link's truth and friendship, the power of friendship speeches. But
I will tell you right now, this is going to leave my brain as soon as possible. So it'll be a surprise when you spring it again.
All right. Oh, damn it, that's still the wrong one. Where the hell did the frickin' pitcher go?
So it's a shape-shifting robot, is what I'm
No,
hearing.
it's not a shape-shifting robot. I got the wrong one. Where the hell? Oh, never mind. I put it in the wrong place.
So the second picture is like, this is Leo's date for the night. This is what you're setting me up for.
No, I grabbed that one I grabbed that one just on the off chance that I needed it at some point. Where did I
It's gonna be like
put?
Alice from Transformers. She'll turn into a robot, try to kill me. I'll be like,
Awesome. Oh, there we
I'm
are.
not sure how I feel about this.
So get shareable link. Really? Share. Copy. Close. I'm the worst at sharing links, apparently. Here we go. There we go. That work? That right? There. Finally. Jesus. All right. So
I'm afraid to open this now. I'll be honest with you.
this is okay. Just make that much more cobbled together, like missing the lower kind of face plates. Limbs aren't really fully joined, or one arm is like totally good on the torso, but the other one's really janky and just kind of almost like holding itself on. But it's definitely a Rasa model. The other screenshots that I've grabbed for a lot of the sort of the Rasen bots look like the Galra robots, the sentries. So this is sort of like, take this and mix it with the Galra sentries from the current Voltron. But that kind of thing is like sort of long distance running / sprinting up the front steps of the school and coming like, boss.
Hit it real hard, Otto.
Okay, boss. Gotcha. And how much do you want him to just go full gangbusters on this? Because that's going through the glass front doors versus like working your way out there and then engaging.
I'm pretty okay with just the school's going to take some damage no matter what.
The doors were jacked up pretty bad too, because something came in that wasn't Otto when these bad guys showed up and stuff too. So he's like, okay, yeah. And he goes dun dun, and then he sort of like leaps forward and goes kind of into car mode, mostly to give himself that sort of battering ram front end. And why don't you give me a engage directly engage, whatever it is.
Oh, this is going to be a terrible roll.
That's okay, because it's Otto and he's a little bit unsure about this whole situation. That's right.
Sorry, we killed your danger.
Okay, so the situational modifier that it's asking me to manually input, that's where I have to put the conditions in. It's not factoring those in automatically, right?
No, it does. No, it does.
You
just have to hit stuff. You just have to hit it. I think it.
Well, no, but like I'm clicking on the roll danger, but it can't possibly know that I'm rolling danger to do directly engage.
It assumes.
Yeah, it's like the only thing you can really use danger for. So it should.
Okay,
it
so
should
if I roll +0.
Yep, it should do the math. Hit it and we'll double check. Yeah, you managed to roll because it's a wait. What is your danger at normally?
2.
So your danger's at 2, but you're at a -2. Yeah, it did the math right. You still came off with a hit.
That's bizarre to me, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
First, move your mouse over the number.
You can see assumes.
Yeah, I did hover over it. I'm just like, how? Like, there's so many other things you danger for, like custom moves.
Yes.
Where that penalty would not apply, right. And now I'm worried I have to take those into account.
You totally do, because we had this issue once already when Margie tried to roll something and it ripped that in, even though it was a custom move.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, my instinct as a programmer would be like, we need to shut that off, and we should factor the move.
Right.
Penalties in manual.
Well, most of the time we'll be using the standard moves, so most of the time this makes sense. And then when we don't want to do that, we roll the flat 2d6 and do the math ourselves, which is
or honestly another way would be like all the active moves have like a separate roll for them, including the standard stock moves. And I think that it's kind of done that way. I assume that they did that way on the labels, because I see like a dice roller for each of my active moves.
Yep.
I'm just like, it would be nice to itemize the standard moves like that. But anyway,
conveniently like Angry gives you a penalty to comfort or support and to pierce the mask, but those are both moves under mundane. So Angry just screws with mundane. It's just
Good times.
it actually maps out pretty well, and they do conveniently say flat 2d6 is for rejecting someone's influence or custom rolls, so they know kind of what's going on. But yeah, it is a but it's handy in this case because you don't have to do the math. Right. So
It really is. Okay.
Otto leaps out there, transforms, and you get to pick one option. I think it's one.
So I'm gonna say create an opportunity.
Create an opportunity for your allies. Yeah. Okay. So
Like, I'm not even sure if that's legit because, like, in this scenario, the ally is me. But you tell me.
I think that's fine. I mean, I totally think that's fine, unless you want to take something from them. But which might
I don't even know what they have to take.
Mobility.
The initiative.
Yeah, but like you could take, something since they're kind of put together, kind of janky. You could probably say something comes off or something like that as well. But giving the opportunity, opening up an opportunity for you, might be good too. Kind of either or. Okay, so in the process, this thing is like trying to. Otto kind of throws himself out through the door, and he's kind of crashing out through the front entrance there. And because he's shifting and stuff like that, he does quite a bit of damage there to the school. And then kind of smashes down through the robot. His actions are such that you're going to pick up a condition, and I think guilty. Maybe.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Because he's like damaging the school. I mean, you're doing the good work, but you're kind of,
Yeah, that's definitely on point. Also, he's doing the fighting for me.
Yeah. Also, he's doing the fighting for you. You're kind of throwing him in harm's way. Although, for apparently, for good reason or anything like that. Adam, the Farlander, it's really hard for me not to do the Gunga thing. My give up. Agreed, Concordance agent. Farlander will retreat. Farlander will work elsewhere in a different quadrant. Farlander apologizes for the misunderstanding.
And I imagine it's still going to be the Concordance talking when it's just like, yes, go seek your prizes elsewhere.
Okay. He figures something on his belt and he starts to do sort of it's not exactly a teleporter, like it's definitely not a Star Trek teleporter thing, but it's sort of the anime lines kind of teleporter where they kind of go, and he's just about discorporated when this sort of black, almost like starry void blast hits him in the back and knocks him flat onto the floor from outside. And you hear this woman again, that voice again, say, "No, that's no fun. If you just let him go, you can't have a good fight." And I mean, that's just boring. And this person floats down into view from outside.
So, Joyce, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Would all this be rolled up into the same threat?
Like, this is ongoing bonus to apply here.
I don't see.
If defeating the Farlander fulfilled my goal, that's fine.
I think
I'm
so.
just gonna take the end result of that.
What's the end result?
I mark I lose my ongoing and I mark potential.
I'm fine with that. This is a different situation.
And I imagine this will probably be more difficult for Adam given how
your reaction to it was.
Yeah, her voice is working on him.
It's a little bit easier now that you're
now that the concordance is in control.
Well, now that you're sort of the concordance is active, I was going to say, but your way is equally disturbing, the way you're wording it.
Yes. Yes, I know.
Control V. All right.
Chances of this being the wrong picture, 1 in 3.
Nope.
Nope.
So that's who floats down from outside.
In the back of Adam's mind, he's just gonna be like, "Oh, our costumes match. That's bad. That's a bad sign."
That's really, really. Oh, it's like, oh, cooler cat. That is really, really bad, isn't it? Oh my God, that's really, really bad.
And who has just entered the battle? The accessorizer.
Accessorizer. So that floats down from outside. She floats down from outside. Oh, good, a concordance agent. I love killing those.
Hi.
So Otto goes tearing out through, smashes into the robot, who kind of roll, like the car goes over, like car mode kind of goes over and kind of rolls underneath, and keeps rolling down the steps, like almost like got hit by a car, and sort of starts to get up from that, but really can't. It's like it tries a couple times and it's still trying to get back up. Otto keeps going and kind of skids out into the like sort of the pickup loop for after school, for like out in the parking lot. Kind of skids to a stop there. But the robot seems to be it honestly glares at Otto like, how dare you? So it's not paying attention to you. Link, what do you do?
Well, a piece of my dad's tech just reanimated itself, so I'm gonna head over there and tear it apart.
Okay. It's not gonna see you guys. I think give you an opportunity. I'm trying to think what that would even look like. Open up an opportunity. Okay, so you probably have a chance here. I'm going to say if you feel like you have this tech on you, because it's completely distracted, you're kind of almost coming at it from behind. You might be able to do more than just hurt it. You might be able to shut it down, like access a IO socket on the back of its head or something like that. That might just be able to like possibly, like, you might just be able to end this thing quickly.
That sounds awfully peaceful. I had something else in mind, but I can try
Okay.
that.
I'm just saying, I'm supposed to create an opportunity, and I don't like the idea of just saying, okay, well, you get a +1 because you create an opportunity. I don't like that.
Well, I mean, if the opportunity is shut it down, that's fine. But like, that's a very peaceful way of shutting it down, is what I'm saying.
Right. But I don't know. Combat. Brain access is pretty handy too. I don't know. It's up to
I
you.
was about to say you can totally just rip
It
wires
doesn't
out
have
as you
to be.
go.
This involves essentially. I mean, granted, it's an IO port, but you're basically stabbing it in the back of the skull. It's not going to look super peaceful. Oh, you know what this suddenly reminds me of? It reminds me of
RoboCop.
no, frickin' KSO from Rogue One, where he's pulling down the data information from another one of his models once they get to the Imperial base, and it's because he's got this data jack pipe thing in his arm, and he stabs his own model in the back of the head.
Yeah, like RoboCop does.
Oh, I haven't seen RoboCop. Like
No,
are you talking about the most
original
recent
one?
Oh, the original. Well, okay, I've seen RoboCop,
Yeah.
but my God, it was back in the '80s, and I don't remember.
He had the spike in his arm and he stabbed it into the computer to gain access.
Nice. So yeah, something, I'm not saying it would be a stabbing thing, but it could be something like that. Anyway, you might be able to do something that would be able to, like, it can be as violent as you want, Leo. I don't want to make you too non-violent. But why don't you give me a directly engage?
Okay, and I feel that because I'm walking away from these people I just told I would be protecting,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of going in heedlessly. So I'm gonna go up 1 danger.
Okay. It shifts it and something else shifts down?
Yeah, I think mundane probably shifts down in this case.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it's at a 3. Are you sure you're willing to make that sacrifice?
I mean, all I have to do is listen to people for 5 minutes, and they'll pump my mundane back up at the expense of my freak, which is still sitting at -2.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. For some reason, people just don't want you making a bunch more robots right now. Did you? Oh yeah, you did. danger, roll, danger, and still got that modifier. But you still get a 7, which is nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So if I'm resisting or avoiding blows, I mean that seems indicated. I'm not doing anything else to it unless you want like shut it down to be the take something from them option.
Let me.
You could always take some feedback back through the whatever you're doing.
I'm actually kind of thinking just like it. Like if I was to take a condition right now, it would be like I'm angry because I know where this equipment came from. I know who made it, and I'm very very pissed off that I'm having to deal with it.
But he already had. Don't you already have angry?
I have afraid.
Oh, you have
I have
afraid.
just gained guilty, but I don't have anger.
Well, we'll see.
Oh man, if you pick up anger, we're gonna match.
No, because he's got 3 right now. Or do you have 3 right now?
I have 3.
Oh my god. Take something from this.
Right now, all I'm good for is defending and unleashing my powers.
Resist or avoid their blows. Yeah, he does. The thing just totally does not see you coming. So yeah, there is kind of like a shutdown sort of access point thing, like a data access thing, and you've messed with this stuff to the point where it's like a old Rubik's cube. You can solve the thing like without really even thinking about it. So shutting this thing down is, this particular model at least, is beyond simple. It's just
Well, I'll tell you how that gets done then. So Leo's going to walk out to where this thing is sort of like recovering itself. His grapple lines will lash out and grab this thing, yank it towards him, and he will lariat its head off, and then he will disable it.
And then
he's just like
what?
He will do that like the wrestling lariat move where you just basically catch someone's neck in your elbow.
Oh God.
Lex Luger time.
Very, very unpleasant.
There's a continuum of angry finishing moves here,
Yeah.
ending with Leo doing this Hellraiser style with his grapples, but I didn't want to take it that
far. Okay, so the head comes off, the body collapses into its component like pieces or whatever. The head was probably in a separate thing anyway. The head wasn't supposed to have an operating system in it. It did not have an operating system in it. You have installed and zeroed out the OS in this thing literally dozens of times. It hasn't had the original Rossum stuff in it for ages. You've backed up stuff into it, swiped it back out again.
I'm just guessing alien shenanigans at this point.
Alien
shenanigans. Yeah, if they could take over a PA system, they could take over a robot. Something built this thing out of scratch. Clearly, there's some advanced alien, hijinks going on. So I'm pretty okay with that.
Okay. The eyes, or rather I guess, is still blinking in like a pattern. So it's completely not doing anything, and it's not running back and forth like Kit, but it's I don't know what you just beeped, but I'm afraid that you just put a Knight Rider gif up there or something like that. But it's blinking in like a I'm more impressed that you had that handy so quickly. Honestly. That's the more.
Which one? Three Stooges?
Yeah, the Three Stooges, like right to the eyes thing. When I mentioned the eyes are blinking, and suddenly you have a Three Stooges like eye poke up there. But it's not just going like flash, flash, flash. It's flashing like.
Is this like Pokemon Seizure Flash or Signal Flash?
Signal Flash. Totally a Signal Flash. Super genius brain.
Okay. I'll see if I can make any sense of it. But while I'm doing that, I'll see if I can track down where Adam is.
Are you
Okay.
gonna Yorick with this robot head while it's blinking then?
Alas, poor Rossum, I knew him well. I knew him, Horatio. I hated his ass, but I knew him.
Yes, setup.
That's awesome.
All right, so what's Adam up to?
What's Adam up to? Well, I'm going to hang on. There we go. Love it. All right.
All right, so I'm filming this with my phone or the suits systems or something along those
Yeah.
lines.
Well, I mean, you're a super genius. You can quickly go, okay, well, that's how clever somebody's using Morse code. It's spelling out Leo over and over.
Yep, so it is.
So it is. This loops probably, it doesn't fade out that fast, but it loops probably, I don't know. How long do you let it go? I guess more than anything.
If I see like 3 or 4 repetitions, I get the idea.
Okay. What do you do?
I take the head with me. Come on, Otto. Like we have urgent issues going on right now, so I got to attend to those.
Okay, that's fair. Do you toss him the head?
I'm going to keep it with me.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
And actually, as a player, I want to ask you a real quick question.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about shifting conditions? Not merely like erasing one, but like switching one to another.
I think uh, it circumstantially, I'm fine with that. If it's
Okay.
like, well, I want to not suck at punching right now, so I'm going to move my angry to guilty. But if it's like,
No,
oh, I was angry about
I-
this, but now I've realized the situation is something completely different, and now instead of being angry, I'm so guilty about it. That's fine.
I think afraid is going to say there. That's basically like Leo's worries about Numa. That's a very persistent thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have guilty and like Otto turned out okay. Like we took this thing down. Like angry feels much more indicated now.
Now, so here is the thing though.
Mm-hmm.
You did end, or if this is the end of that scene, you did hurt someone.
Well,
and
someone.
Yeah.
Robot.
I'm not even thinking about like what the rules say. I'm just thinking about like how this kid would feel. That's all.
No.
Oh yeah.
We can go on.
You were guilty, but maybe you're angry. I mean, I'm fine with it.
Let's just keep going. It's
yeah. Well, it's getting on to the hour, so we probably, because we have new. So we have a new challenger has arrived for Adam, and
that's exactly how I put it in my notes.
and we have you have just kind of eliminated this cobbled together mess of a robot that came in from. So you're doing some weird math in your head here because you're like, well, alien shenanigans. Except how in the hell would an alien know to mess with anything in your thing? How would they even know that you're here? And how would they know if you're here, where your stuff is at? I mean,
that depends entirely on their capabilities, honestly.
True. It's just, are you Occam's razoring this too much? Oh.
I think it's something he'll think about like after he
Yes.
checks on Adam.
Yes.
Like right now he's just motivated. He's got to take care of this.
He's so motivated that he's going back in to find Adam with a head tucked under his arm like a football. Like I don't even have time to dispose of this thing. I'm bringing it with me because I'll need to investigate it later, and I'm not leaving it anywhere. Okay, so we're gonna stop there because it's late-ish. And I've got to teach a class tomorrow morning. Ugh.
I am perfectly fine with this because I don't have to wake up and go to work at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We have a trade show. I get to be sold product all day.
Nice. You're perfectly all right with what? With stopping now or not stopping?
Running
now?
over.
Running over. I'm not ready to do another fight right now though. So I'm gonna
Well,
what?
is it a fight or is it a
Oh,
dreadful revelation?
it depends. It depends on which of you you're talking about. It could be both. Could be both of you.
Could be
Um,
all of that.
could be all of that. It could be a fight and a dreadful revelation. This person isn't so much dreadful revelation as just sort of like antithesis. Um, antithesis, antithesis. Anyway, no, I'm starting to get a little brain flatline. I'm gonna have to pause right here.
Nope, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm considering it. I'm like, no, I need to stop. Um, it's been disconcerting seeing Margie's little icon at the bottom of our Roll20 all night.
She's
Okay,
ghosting him.
so Adam,
Yes.
more into the image of yourself, closer to the team, farther away from the team. What do you think?
In so much as the team is Link, yes.
Okay, closer to Link.
Yep.
Okay. I think it's funny that you were throwing so many skill things out there. You did get a 3 earlier on though, didn't you?
I did.
So there's
That's
that.
why I got to mark some potential.
You got the marks of potential there, and you got that other one. So Link, you can move a label.
Yep. And,
Or move his
and I
labels
am,
rather.
and
Link.
instead of marking potential for that, I'm going to clear guilty, since I don't think that really applies at the moment.
Wait, which thing did you do? You did
Um,
closer to the team.
Yeah, so you can mark potential or clear a condition.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I am taking the less likely of those two options because I have too many conditions as it is.
Yes, you have. Oh, you have quite a few. Leo.
I was looking at the list. I don't know about growing into the image of yourself. I like he might have been halfway there, but like this sort of interrupted where he would have been going with that. I'm gonna have to say grew closer to Adam. We had a good conversation.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, can you conjure a monster? A monster appeared. Like he may deny it, but Leo's like, I know what you did.
If there hadn't been like a thing I really wanted to do there with Taz suddenly interrupting your conversation, I totally would have had them attack right then too.
I think it went very well as it was.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah, I wanted man, it would have been perfect, but at the same time, I really want Taz to come in there and go, what are we pulling? Because it just seemed like such a good interruption there too. All right, cool. So that means I'm assuming Adam can move your labels and you get to clear a condition or a mark. Is that right?
That's correct.
Come closer to the team, clear a condition, or is it mark potential? I didn't think it was mark potential. I'm confused now. End of session, grow closer team, give them influence to and clear condition mark potential. I don't think we use the mark potential very much.
I use
I
it
did it
constantly. What are you
twice.
talking about?
Yeah.
The mark potential on that one? Huh. I guess because Margie does all the time, she never gets any potential. I think she must be clearing conditions most of the time.
Probably, yeah. And it's pretty rare for me to clear conditions. Like my default battle strategy is like don't get hit.
Don't
But
get
this
yeah. Yeah, you have a very sort of Robin approach to combat, which is my if I'm gonna pick only one thing, let it be not getting hit. And that works really, really well. Less so in conversations, but yeah, you actually have a remark. This is maybe I think this is your current like high for conditions right now.
yeah, I think I've maxed out at 3 at one point, but yeah, this is
It's definitely up there. You usually barely have one, and believe me, I've noticed because I like to keep track
Oh,
of how
man.
many. I don't think I've had.
Yeah.
I don't think I've managed to get anybody. I don't even think Adam has broken 3 yet.
He had 4 at one point, I
Did
think.
he?
That's what I did. I hear you correctly? You were when you were Nova, you had like 3 or 4 conditions, and you were rolling really well because that was your burn move.
Yep. And
Did you have 4?
the first,
I thought you had 3.
the first time, no, the first time I hit burn, I already had 2 conditions, and then I had to mark 2 more.
Okay, yeah. That's right. That's right.
I went condition heavy off the bat.
Yeah,
that was game 1.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
So
But I mean,
yeah.
I have not inflicted. I have not. That was sort of self-inflicted. I haven't inflicted more than 3, although I have inflicted 3 several times. Usually, in fact, I'm going to say almost always during dialogue with otherwise friendly NPCs.
There's also that, yeah.
Yeah.
I like getting conditions if I think they're going to pay off.
Yeah.
Like Afraid is definitely going to pay off for this. Guilty, like it feels more transitory, but I think I can kind of play with it, like if it plays out. But that's why I asked about
I can,
swapping.
honestly, it hasn't affected you at this point in time. I could totally see you going with angry because, I mean, the situation itself might make you angry. I mean, you might have a flash of guilty, but when it comes right down to it and you're walking away from that scene, you're probably angry because of this whole thing with the robot and everything else. I can totally see that, just guilty being the flash and going, actually it makes more sense for me to be angry. Or actually the thing that sticks is being angry or something like that. I'm not sure.
Sorry, Bill. I was guessing.
That's
Oh, what
fine.
happened? What happened?
Oh, I got him to mark another condition because I was just like, man, I know that he's not superior right now because he was pretty much a dork for the entire part of our conversation because he got freaked out by girls. So it's just like, man, what should I shift
Oh,
up?
that's right, because he maxed out danger right there at the end by with his bull move.
Yeah, and
All
I was
right,
just like, let's go for it.
It looks like I'm angry after all. So okay.
Clear condition, get angry back. Urgh. It's perfect. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, in hindsight, you're right. Bill, you were absolutely right. It is much better when people can't see what you already have. It just works out so much better when people
It's
can't
brilliant.
see. Yeah,
Yeah,
it really.
it's such a it's a gamble, and that's the thing about like label shifts. They don't really have any other impact other than, well, you're going to be rolling this for a while until your label shift again. But it's like if there's that risk, then yeah, that's you basically paid for like clearing a condition or marking potential, getting closer to the team, like you're rolling those dice.
And they're totally. I mean, in a situation like this, it's like they're totally. I mean, somebody might be doing it and totally think they're doing you a favor. It's like, oh, you're about to go into a fight, man. I'm going to pump your danger. Wah wah.
Oh wow, like kids doing well-intentioned things that backfire. Wow, that's never
What?
happened ever.
What?
Well,
No,
I
that
mean,
never-
that's how the NPCs have been doing it too, because like half the stuff I've done has been like, oh, he's going to shift your labels up, and he's going to raise your this and drop your mundane. Well, my mundane's already a -2. Ah, well, crap. All right, well, he says things, and if you agree with him, then you feel even worse. Because that never happens between kids and adults either.
By the way, Bill, because this keeps
Yep.
on happening with you, help me remember this. Next time we start talking about the concordance powers, have me ask you what label you want to impose on me. It's
Will
one of my moves that I took from the very get-go whenever I switched over the Janus, and I never get to use it because I always forget it's an option.
Since we actually did explicitly talk about the concordance powers over lunch, can you retroactively do that?
I have no problem with that.
Sure. When you spend time talking to somebody about your identity, you can ask them which label they want to impose on you. Their player will tell you honestly.
And then what? That goes up, and the other something else drops, or what? What happens?
Oh no, actually nothing like that. It is the weirdest thing.
Okay. What actually happens?
Oh, if I accept what they tell you,
Oh, right. Okay.
take +1 forward and either mark potential or clear a condition. However, if I don't accept it, then I have to, do the whole
roll resist the thing and all that kind of stuff. Right.
I mean, Leo thought that like those powers were pretty amazing. I feel like I don't know if if that constitutes freak though, because it's not really like being freaky by using those powers. It's using those powers to do amazing mundane things.
Well,
Does
it
that make
depends.
sense?
Freak is two things. It's freaky outsider stuff. You're freaky, or you believe that's the negative spin on it. It's also the you embody power kind of thing. The positive take on freak is that you're a very powerful. You've got really cool powers.
I'm gonna have to go with freak then, because that I thought that was really cool.
And because that's my highest stat right now, I think that is perfectly fitting.
So
So
again,
take +1 forward, and I'm gonna use that to mark potential.
okay, mark potential, and you've got a +1 forward floating around for your next roll, which you have hardly
You're
needed help with because your dice have been on fire.
I mean, in the early fights, like Leo was just knocking it out of the park. Like nobody, like nothing could stand before him. I think this is Adam's moment for that too.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. He's had.
I like seeing those.
He had.
Well, no, this was finally my time when I finally got to be like, you know what? No. This is not happening here. You are not doing this. He turned into his mother for a second,
Which was funny because it was totally Concord villains too. So you really kind of came into your own on that. And to be fair, Link pretty much stomped.
The robot, which is his sort of villain.
Oh no, I stomped the minion. Woohoo! But,
well, yeah, okay, a minion, but minion body. Who knows what was on the inside?
the shadow knows. Wait, no.
It's not going to be able to tell you unless you can plug it into something because Rossum doesn't build these things with voice boxes. It's unnecessary hardware.
Yeah, we can't have anybody talking back to him.
Nope. Oh God, no. Oh, it's so funny.
That's quite all right.
Leo hasn't had a chance to complain about his dad now. I'm really glad that I've opened that door for him to be able to complain about dad in character, in game. I'm pleased about that. He will have further opportunities in the future.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. I am gonna go because I am beat flat, but this was great. I'm pleased with how all this came out. The mundane drudgery of the school combined with we've been attacked by super villains, cosmic super villains.
Honestly, the attack made me feel grateful. I was like, Leo's like, thank God. Let's.
I don't know if I've got an afternoon worth of school in me. I just can't something attack. Can you have monsters attack? And lo and behold, monsters appeared.
I have been waiting for like school chum NPCs to show up just because I feel that is like a really good use for like a really good interaction for us given the scope of the game and all that.
The school interaction?
Yeah,
we
with
need more of that.
like the other kids.
Yeah,
keep these characters coming back, definitely.
Oh yeah.
I No Rodriguez is just like amazing.
What's that, Ms. Rodriguez?
Yeah, because Bill said her first name must be No, given how.
No Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Miss Rodriguez, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taz is actually I'm slicing her a couple different directions, so she's involved.
Well, that I am like right now the fact that it did not wind up being it did not wind up being crap, I cannot remember her name. Alicia Chen under a lifelike mask.
No.
I gave
that would have been golden though if she's wearing like the worst disguise of all time and it's just so blatantly obvious it's her and she's like, "Hi, I'm Felicia Knee," and we're just like, really?
Felicia Finger.
No, I mean no, and she's elsewhere right now anyway. But yeah, there is other stuff going. I mean, I know Alicia's the nemesis. She's got to be doing stuff, and she's a super genius, and blah 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 blah. She should be involved in lots of different stuff. However,
she's gonna show up to the hospital where Jason is with like a bouquet of like poison ivy,
poison oak and nightshade. No, I mean, but there needs to be other stuff going on, and you guys are all. This is interesting because like Bill said, you guys all kind of represent different genres, so you need to have your own you don't all have nemesis, but you sort of all have thematic rogues galleries. Um, these guys are both saved in a villain sheet that I put together.
When
That's
I'm off in my solo series without
yeah,
the rest of the
yeah.
team, these are the
These
people I'm fighting.
these are yeah, yeah. The rogues, and everyone's got their rogues galleries that they need to have.
Hmm. So
We've established Ghost Girls. I haven't had Harry show up yet, but that's because I don't know. I just haven't had a chance to yet. One of them was going to show up in the very first episode, but there was already so the fight had already gone on so long with just two guys. I didn't want to throw another one in. So
yep.
anyway, it'll happen. It'll happen.
I feel as though Farlander probably fought the previous Concord.
Or one of the other
Yeah.
ones. For all you know, there's lots of
Well,
them.
no, oh no, but I figure there was like much like oh geez, Richard Ryder Nova. There is some human who is inexplicably not on Earth, out in the cosmos, who the last Concord comic focused on.
Yeah.
And then I'm the new one that none of the none of the old readers like, but it's bringing in all of the young readers, like the new Blue Beetle comic did in 2008.
I love the Blue Beetle. I Jaime Ramos is
Jaime was the best,
Jaime is
and
great. He's so
and
good.
he
I was really kind of looking at him sideways when he just sort of showed up. Because the thing is, between the first and second season of Young Justice, which keep in mind, sort of my introduction to all the animated DC stuff, 5 years pass. So Robin becomes Nightwing. The second Robin has died in the intervening 5 years. The third Robin is now on the team. Blue Beetle just kind of comes up out of nowhere. They're using freaking like where the hell is Aqualad? Because goddamn it, I hate Aqualad, but now I like this Aqualad. Now he's not here and he's been replaced with Lagoon Boy. What the hell? Um, there were a lot of changes, and I looked really sideways at Blue Beetle. But
so
you
one of the reasons.
actually where Jaime is fantastic,
Hmm.
and you're gonna hate to hear this.
I know what you're gonna say.
Batman Brave and the Bold. He shows up
Yep.
repeatedly and actually has a little like arc investigating the departure of Ted Kord and stuff like that, but he's in there fairly frequently throughout the 3 seasons of Batman Brave and the Bold, and he's great.